Good afternoon, curling fans from lovely Calgary, Alberta, Canada. As you see, a lovely city with the Rocky Mountains in the distance. It's the host of the 1988 Olympic Winter Games, and thusly named the Canada Olympic Park is where we are at, and the Winsport Arena for the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. And as the temperature's shifting, getting warmer outside, they'll also heat up inside for our coverage of Canada against Sweden. These are the two countries that have won the most World Women's Curling Championships. Canada with 17, Sweden with 8, the Olympic champ against newcomers to the world stage. And they'll be taking the ice here in session 2. Let's meet those teams playing in our feature matchup this afternoon. For Canada, their lead, Brianne Mayer. Their second, Shannon Burchard. Third, Val Sweeting. And the skip and the team out of Gimli, Manitoba, Carrie Einarson. They'll take on the reigning Olympic champions, Sophia Mabergs. Their second, Agnes Knockenhauer. Third is Sarah McManus. And their skip, Anna Hasselborg. We're through one session, so just a little bit to tell you. Czech Republic, RCF, Scotland, and Switzerland all winning earlier today. Germany, Italy, Korea, and the US all on the losing end. While Canada, China, Denmark, Estonia, Japan, and Sweden all will be playing their first game here this afternoon. A full slate of games on the ice. Session 2, Denmark takes on Japan on Sheet A. Our feature game, Sheet B. On Sheet C, it's Estonia taking on China. And on Sheet D, Italy at 0-1 takes on Switzerland, the reigning world champions at 1-0. And what a better way to keep things going inside this lovely Winsport Arena. Luke Coley here with Olympian and Canadian champion Melissa Saligo. It's a lot of fun when you get Canada and Sweden on the women's game. Just two giants in this at this level of curling.
What a great way to start off our second session with these two teams. And as you said, Team Canada hasn't played in this event before. They were supposed to play obviously last year, didn't. And whereas Team Sweden has been here a number of times.
The number of times, and they've lost the last two championships in extra ends. They've won everything. Anna Hasselborg's won everything. World Juniors, World Mixed Doubles, Olympics, World Juniors. Looking for a World Championship title, and two extra end losses. Hoping to try and get themselves first off in the top 6 to make the playoffs, and then get into that championship game. So it'll be a lot of fun with these two. See if there's some nerves from the Canadian side, not playing their first game, where you get both have been in the bubble, playing in some slam events. So they'll both be comfortable with one another.
They definitely will, but this is the first game that Team Einarson will have that Canada on their back, representing Canada now, not just their team that they did in the bubble for the slam events in the last couple of weeks. This is the big one. This is the one they've been waiting for a long time.
What better way to start than going off against Sweden? Get right into it, right into the thick of things to start off this. They've already won the first battle. That is last stone advantage in that first end. Great draw shots from all 4 players that were there. Comes down to just Canada slightly better, so they'll have the red stones have that last stone to start off this game. As you see the numbers, 29.8 centimeters, Sweden 50.5. So Sweden will not confuse us. Sweden will have the yellow jerseys and the yellow stones. Canada red jackets and shirts with the red stones.
There we go.
We're already winning in that one, that we don't have to worry about that.
And I actually think in the draw to the button, all 4 shots touched the button in some fashion, but it was, as you saw the numbers there, Canada just covering the pin on both of theirs.
So just slightly better. And that means we'll get it going. The calm before the storm as all the players head down. Obviously no fans in attendance. They got the team officials that'll sit on the side. You'll hear some applause throughout, just little bits, but definitely a different environment than these teams are used to when playing at a world championship. And especially one here in Canada. Normally large crowds, and it was 3 years ago Hasselborg played in the final in North Bay, Ontario, Canada, and crowd was packed. Had to rewatch it, and it was kind of weird to see. So we see Sofia Malbergs get this game started.
It'll be very interesting, Luke, to see how these teams, they've played against each other a number of times, but how will they face each other in this very first game? And this one's not even going to get over, I don't think.
No, and I wonder, they let up. They didn't really go real hard. Maybe, no, you save it, but a long guard is not going to be really useful, and you don't want to get into that type of game early.
That's right, and we saw the amount of curl in the first session this morning. And we saw just now where Anna put that broom, it was like almost an inch from the edge of the 12-foot. So that's how much this ice is curling. So a high guard really isn't going to allow you to bury or really defend in any way. It's like it's not there. It was pitched really high.
So the Canadian lead, Brienne Mayer, draw off to the side of the 8-foot. Important thing to see, a lot of communication between the teams, discussing the ice. New ice surface here for this event, so they'll, despite playing, will be out on a new surface.
New surface and different rocks.
Yeah, and that'll make a big difference, won't it, Melissa?
Absolutely. So, you know, we talked about it earlier with when Kevin Martin and I were doing the game, is that they literally stripped down the ice right after the slams, put the new ice, new logos in for this event, and then they're using the World Curling Federation rocks, and they sand them beforehand so that they're really sharp and they have a lot of curl in them. So what we did notice earlier is sometimes there was a couple that rocks that some of the players were struggling with, that they weren't reacting the way they'd expected them. So we'll keep an eye on that in this particular game. But this is the second game now that these rocks have been used. So each time they're used, they'll get a little bit duller and a little bit duller and a little bit duller. Of course, that'll take a long time, but that is the way it would go.
A lot of time up and down the sheet as we go here in the first end. We're doing just that as Agnes Nockenhauer rolls out.
Rock should come down. Yeah. So just stay with it. Yep. Probably don't need to switch.
Canadian second, Shannon Burchard, was a member of that Canadian team that won in 2018. She played with Jennifer Jones at the Canadian Championship, Caitlin Laws at the Olympics. Was their alternate at the Worlds, played in a few games and was a world champion there. She's played in 3 Canadian Championships and has won 3 Canadian Championships.
That's not a bad resume.
No, it's tough to get better than that. Well, little roll in for Agnes into the 8-foot.
Bell trying to get this one to curl as much as possible.
Well, and a mistake there, Shannon. Maybe got that out a little bit, didn't come back, and just ticks that one over.
Just wide. 8, 9, and just
Sarah McManus, 29-year-old third. Trying to protect that one.
Bra snack.
Nice shot.
Ja, jag med. Bra, härligt. Bra. Bra, Lisa, härligt.
It's absolutely buried. Good brushing to get that as far as they got it. It looked like it was going to be light at first, but they dragged it into a perfect position.
Val Sweeting.
Yep.
And everyone on this team other than Shannon in their first World Championship. Looking to play in this run back. And will just miss. It leaves the center line guard. This team was all ready to be Team Canada last year in Prince George. Rules of play, 6 ends minimum must be played, 38 minutes of thinking time, 1 60-second timeout given here in the 10 ends scheduled to be played.
We saw Shannon go down and have a conversation with Carrie just to see what happened on that shot that she missed. And I think that she just slid wide, but she just wanted to confirm that she threw it okay and that it maybe was just a wide slide. Always going to school, always learning.
That one just to the top of the 12-foot, guarding up that one in the house. Tighter run back now.
Do that and double guard.
I think we gotta kill that top one. Yeah.
But make it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Same weight.
Double first. You got it, Val. You got it.
So you heard the conversation. Their first goal is to actually play the double, make the double. And then if they happen to get a bit of a roll, that would be a bit of a bonus.
Hard.
So would love to make both of these yellow Swedish stones go away.
Well, and there's the run, pick it out, actually make a little bit of a roll underneath
Really nice.
into the rings.
Beauty. Atta girl. Or that way. Sorry, I didn't want to roll it totally buried because then they just wrap. Yeah, exactly.
What a great shot by Val. Good call by Carrie and good team shot.
That worked good. It didn't roll buried.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
They got about as much as they could
Okay.
to still make that double that way.
And you heard the comment there, they didn't want to roll actually fully buried because if they did, it would almost be a double guard opportunity for Sweden to come around and put the force back on. So it was nice that they left a couple of inches there, so it does force Sweden to have to go after it. So now they're gonna play Anna's gonna play the hit and roll.
Well, and there's a mistake by Sweden. Hasselborg herself just touches that one over. And now Canada lies one, so there's been a mistake from both sides.
Very unexpected error there by Anna Hasselborg. But opportunity now for Team Canada. Try and get a one, just as we mentioned, right around those two guards.
I got for hers.
Okay. 14-5 maybe. Fully. I'm peeking out's okay, but we don't
Showing a piece is never a bad thing. That kind of plays that teaser and makes your opposition think as to how they want to play that.
Jag tror du vill säga, här känns det som att hon alltså nästan linje på.
Yeah, he got it.
So went from being worried about those two stones to now trying to take advantage of them.
That just shows you like a half miss or a full miss that just changes the complexity of an end very quickly.
Probably the lightest we wanted.
Top four, top eight. Top four.
We're lining nice. Clean.
Top four.
T-line. I want it to die. T. Back. I want it to die.
Can we take it back?
Yeah, you can go right. Whoa. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
So you heard the brushers. They originally called top four, top eight. Then they were
I
T-line.
didn't think you would die.
And
Sorry,
honestly, Luke, that almost stopped. That did stop in the worst possible place it could have stopped. Back button.
It came off like 5 feet in the house. Yeah.
It's now a freeze and it's a
I thought we could
steal.
get back 8. No. Yeah.
De hade den och hon satte den ganska rakt. stay close på det
I
där.
heard the sweepers say as that rock was coming into the house, because they made the call quickly to go to back ring, and as it was coming into the house, they felt like the weight just immediately came off it very, very quickly, and it looks like it did, and it stops back button. Like, worst possible scenario for Canada, but you almost have to decide a little bit sooner where the best place to put that stone was,
Yeah.
even if you leave it 2 feet shorter than that. So good opportunity here now on this last Swedish stone for Anna just to get this one fully frozen onto the face of that red stone.
And it's not an easy shot, but we just assume with the level of these two teams that these shots are going to be made.
Exactly. That's a good point.
You take it for granted when you see that first rock from Hasselborg. And now to make this freeze with her last of the first end.
You think about how big this shot is. If she doesn't make it, there's a possibility for 3 here in this first end, and came out of nowhere. So big shot here for Team Sweden. It's got some curling to do.
Trying to take it around it now.
Looks like it.
Well, just too much weight and 2 misses from Anna Hasselborg, and really not that close.
Both of her rocks, her first one, not sure she was wide or just heavy, but that one ran perfectly straight. This draw ran very straight for her as to where she put her ice down. So great opportunity here for Canada now.
You have to go after 3 right now. You don't just draw for 2.
If we touch ours, it'll be fine.
I would say you go for it.
Okay, let's play it then. Let's get it. Yeah.
Depending on how much you can see, I think you can see a good
I like that. Got it.
Back
First
line's
time
Three
probably
quarters?
at, like 13.
Yeah, looks
13,
visible enough to go after.
Too much.
Not
You have
for
to-
first time. I like it.
For my draw, it really took its time. And same with that, and she was probably middle.
There is late finish, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
We could
deep in
always
the
tighten it
house.
up a hair, because if we rub ours, it's okay.
Yeah.
Can I have
Whatever
like
you're
a touch
seeing.
less?
Yeah, just so you can throw it how you see it.
Yeah, you got it.
Sorry, aim it for like that 13.
13.
What a great conversation there by Carrie on her front end, just trying to understand the path there. Got a little bit fooled
Queen. Yep.
so far, I think, this end with a couple stones.
Heavy. Heavy.
Well, like you said, Melissa, a chance to cut 3 out of nowhere. Here trying to get that curl to come up with a 3. Try and get contact on that yellow. Chip it back and gets rid of it. Do they stick? They won't stick. They still score multiple and get 2 in that first end. Couple mistakes by Sweden. Canada capitalizes, gets an early 2.
Yeah, it's hard
I
shot to
knew I
make.
needed to tighten it more.
I like the weight a lot, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just gotta be careful.
Snabbt fram och tillbaka här. Alltså, fort det åker.
Ja, precis.
Nej, men alltså, vi missar, de missar. Så att så här, se till att sätta våra slag och fortsätta lära oss.
Verkligen.
Och bounsa tillbaka med en 2.
Men verkligen fartkänsligt. Alltså, jag gillade jag spelade min första.
Jag gillar du spelar på
Vi hade bara kunnat alltså, så här, tänka så här, även om jag kommer lös där och klicka i garden ska vi aldrig sätta på 3.
Nej, det är sant. Det är sant. Absolut.
Noggranna här.
Men samtidigt tålamod då.
Well, the second end, and just like that, a 2 came out of nowhere in the first end, Canada and Sweden. So Sweden will have the hammer in our feature game. This is session 2.
Canada with that early opportunity to get 3. But we saw a couple of misses in that first end, by both teams, and Sweden with the later misses, and that allowed Canada the opportunity to get 3, manages to get 2. So a good start to the game.
Yeah, and the corner guard really long. First one of end 1 was a hog stone. So I'm wondering if something up there, not getting a good read on that stone, even though they did have their practice session before the game.
3, 2, 3. I like the way. 3.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for sure, Luke. It's very, the team is obviously aware of what's going on with that particular rock. They have it in the hands of Sophia for a reason, so we'll just keep an eye and make sure that we're not seeing the pattern develop.
So the tight center line guard. They're trying the chip shot, try and push this one in.
They are, yeah. They're going to try and just push the red one off and roll their yellow stone behind that corner guard.
Oh, look at that. Just chip it off, roll it into the rings.
Nicely done. Didn't quite roll enough. It over curled. They lifted their brooms about hog line and it over curled like an inch.
Things are moving a little more than normal before, hey? Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
Okay,
You got it,
just a
Shan.
10.
Just a 10. Okay. Close. Yes. Whoa. Clean. Clean. Stay close. Whoa.
Well, they get the head back, roll to the center of the rings to lie 3.
9-5.
Obviously, Sweden has to happy because they have that corner guard still
9-5.
in front for Sweden to try and generate offense. And speaking of generating offense, there's a man who knows how to do so. Wayne Madoff, 3-time world champion. Now been coaching this team for a couple of years. Actually played in the Canadian Championship this year with a rod and a broken leg a couple years ago, and he has a rod in his leg holding it together.
What a great briar he had. It's fun to watch.
He makes the hit but doesn't quite roll off or far enough.
Okay, so just a touch less.
Yeah, just a hair.
Look at the Canadian bench on the other side. Heather Nedwin, a world junior champion, 2-time world bronze medalist.
Left, 10-5. Yep.
Joined forces with this team, coaching them this year.
10-5. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Reach here. Go.
Okay. What was speed, Carrie?
10-3.
Okay. 10-3. Okay.
So Melissa, you hear them, there's a lot of numbers of the 10-3. That's the hog-to-hog time?
That is. So Team Canada uses that hog to hog, and so it's the time that the stone travels between the 2 hog lines, and it's a way to allow team members the communication, to allow each person to allow each other to know what's happening, how fast it's moving.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, so
Just about
close.
close. That one was a lot quicker than 10 seconds for Agnes Knockenhauer.
That's right. So the lower the number, so a 7, 8, 9, the faster the rock is moving between those 2 hog lines.
Well, gets rid of 2 out of the rings for Canada and opens things up, but chance here for Val Sweeting to hit line 2 back.
10. Just 10. 10-5. Is anything? Yep. Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. 10-5. Good ball.
Nice weight there by Val. That 10-10-5 is a nice control weight. You'll see a lot of teams using that number. So right now, Team Sweden is in a position where they're going to be forced, unless they can find a way to eventually make a double or make a big shot where they get a far hit and roll. This is one they've got to decide at some point whether to take that all the way over.
That's real close to being perfectly buried behind that guard, even if they are so long between them.
It does increase the degree of difficulty, right, of that shot for now Canada. If it was a wide open hit, that's one thing. But just that little extra component to it by having it, behind the guard, it does just add that little degree of difficulty. Still a good opportunity here for Canada now.
Nice. That's good.
Well, gets at it, rolls away. Canada in control here, lying 2.
Nice, Val. Good pair.
Good girl. Great throw.
Two great shots by Val Sweeting. So this, I would think that Team Sweden will take on the double here for Sarah McManus. They really want to get out of this end if they can. They've been kind of chasing the entire end.
We're in between and stick the back one, lose the shooter.
Det är bra. Ja. Det är bra, Sara. Det är bra lead, Sara. Bra försök.
Just not as sharp as we're used to seeing, especially early on in an event. They've played a couple Grand Slams, but haven't played that many games in the curling season. They're a team similar to their men's side with Nicholas Edin, used to playing a lot. So maybe not playing as much as you're feeling it a little bit more with your body as well.
That's right, and we have to go back to the fact that these two teams and others played in the slams the last 2 weeks. But again, now you have to reset your brain. You have to reset your thought process. It's different ice, different rocks, different situation, different environment. And the other thing with the world teams is that they were due to practice on Wednesday and Thursday. And just due to the situation that we all know about with the COVID positive athletes, the teams were not allowed to practice Wednesday, so they were delayed to Thursday, so they only had one opportunity to hit the ice. And then, of course, they get their pregame practice as well. So it's a lot of information to gather in a short period of time. Obviously, Team Sweden, very, very experienced in doing so, but you never know how you're going to come out in that first game.
That being said, it's a very long game still to be played and not a real risk with that one just going top 12. But you see the 8-foot still open to score.
Canada would love to force Sweden to have to take a single here, but I think for Anna Hasselberg, there is a long double opportunity here. You might as well take it on. As you said, Luke, the 8-foot's wide open right now. So you can either freeze and try and push the issue right now, or you try and take on the double.
Gillar ni den eller runt? Vilket som?
Lättast att hitta dit. Det är inte dragningen.
Ja, och sen, men om de fryser då blir vi forcade.
Eller dra.
Vi gillar dragningen.
Jag gillar dragningen.
Jag gillar också dragningen. Det enda är väl att de kan stänga lite, men jag tror jag gillar vännen.
Ser du typ en 9,5 eller? Jag löser det. Ja, 10.
Mentioned it early in the end where that guard went at the top of your screen on the BKT logo. If that's in a better position, they probably use it now, don't they?
I would think so. And based on its position, they can't really use it. So they looked at a couple of options here. They originally looked at the long double. They also looked at freezing to this one in the back, 12-foot, 8-foot, but that's really hard to do simply because that guard's up there. It's very difficult to draw based on how much the ice curls. So now they're going to try the hit and roll behind the other red stone that's sitting top 12.
Well, missed a takeout in the first end. trying to make this hit and roll.
10. Det är bra fart. Bra fart. Bra. Bra spelarna.
Doesn't get any roll, just right on the nose.
Det är bra lirarna. Kändes riktigt nice.
Bra spelarna. Det är bra. Tycker det här är bra spel.
Ja, jag gillade det.
But looking like they may be forced to take that single point in this second end.
Roll under ours would be nice so she doesn't have the same shot.
Sure. All right, you got it.
You heard Carrie say there that they'd really like to roll under to make the draw more difficult against 2. Key here is they want to stick in the rings, that's for sure.
Nine five.
9, 5, 10. Roll solid. 10. 10. Queen. Yep. Hard.
This one's reacting very differently than the Swedish stone.
Yeah, right down that center line, so it's something to keep an eye on. Rolls out, and now lets Sweden off the hook.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Hey. What was the weight? Oh, I heard 9-5.
And just going back to that previous shot, it did get to the center line a lot faster than the Swedish stone.
Like totally different than Carrie, so it's hard to tell.
And so they're having the conversation now, obviously, what happened to that stone and how much did it overcurl. The weight was good by the sounds of it from Val. So great opportunity here for Sweden now to blank this end after they've been chasing the entire time.
Yeah.
So the final stone here for Anna Hasselborg. On it right out of her hand, looking for the blank. Might be able to get it on the nose too, but will end up rolling in and taking the single point. Another mistake, and Sweden takes 1, but will give the hammer back, trailing 2-1 to Canada.
Det är bra att ta beslut.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's running straighter at least.
Yeah, I would say so.
Good end, ladies. Let's see where they go. Do you like going right to 4th?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Speed seems.
Yeah, let's do it.
Japp, det är bra fart. Bra Fia. Bra. That was nice.
Welcome back inside the Winsport Arena, part of Canada Olympic Park here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, in the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. Luke O'Leary with Melissa Saligo and centerline guard to start off. Sweden's got to sort of force the issue, try and execute a little bit better. They've been off in the first couple ends.
They have, and with Anna Hasselborg in her last stone in the second end, it was a little bit of a miss, and you hate to call it a miss because you got to put a point on the board, but They really wanted the blank there. They didn't want to be forced, and that was the situation. So they do have to now just put their foot on the gas pedal a little bit more here to try and increase the degree of difficulty of the Canadian shots right now.
Well, Brienne Mayer just well-placed stone in behind, so Marburgs will try and follow that down.
Just looking for the corner freeze. Again, this one's not curling as much as you don't really want to tick and roll off.
Just that couple feet too much.
It is. It's just a matter of inches right now for Team Sweden.
Sure. Bumper. Okay. What do you guys think is going to do here?
Should be gradual, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So don't be cute with it.
No, you can throw it nice.
Bomb. Yep. Yep. A little solid if anything. Yep. Weight's good. Hard. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Yes. Yep. Yep. Yes. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, hit, little roll underneath.
Plan B?
Yeah, roll away. No, we'll roll inside.
Jeez. I came up. I even spun it because I wasn't sure it was going to grab.
Ended up being a great shot. And you have a look at it there. It's fully buried. But I think just the ice or the reaction of the rocks on the ice, just fooling each team just a little.
Yeah, it's like straightened up a little bit once the game began, more from practice.
Yeah, it's possible, but once it gets to center, then it goes really hard. So it's a fine line there. Look at that one, over curling past the guard.
That's what we saw in the first session, a lot of the over curls.
Definitely.
You get by the guard and it come out the other side.
And that's what we were kind of expecting here in the first couple of ends. So.
Little way. Top 12. Line's good. Line's good. Room. Top 12.
Really close for me.
Pass it curling out. No. Top 12. It's really close.
I'm just trying to bring this one top 12, kind of block off that side of the sheet.
Great weight.
Nicely done.
Yeah, it's very close who's third, but it's in congesting those reds. Check in Italy and Switzerland. Switzerland gets a win earlier today, Italy with a loss. And Alina Pet's chance to start off this one with a bang as well. A couple of yellows already in there.
Yeah, it looks like she's drawing for 3.
Yeah, and they played good this morning, but not great. And obviously game one, they'll be happy with the win, and they'll look at things that they can get better with. And the open draws are always nice, especially when they're for 3. So Switzerland 3-0 after 2 ends against Italy. Those are the only 2 teams out on the ice right now that have played a game. The other 6 are in game number 1.
Okay. Same weight.
You saw that shot by Sweden. They moved some rocks around, but 2 red ones did remain in the rings.
Line's good. Yeah. You can go. Yeah. Just a top 12. Go. Hard line's great. Keep going. Top 12. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Line's great. He's on it. Top 12. Go. We might be able to get it. Yep.
That's good.
Okay. Good.
A big sweep to get it that far. Some good sweeping teams here in this game as well. Very well-rounded teams.
That's okay. Really good.
They really dragged that a long way.
Yeah. That's a good spot. Throw it there. Yeah.
Team Sweden has to remember here, they don't have the hammer here in the third end, and the Redstones piling up a little, but they do have that yellow one on the left-hand side as we look at it. Another freeze attempt here by Team Sweden. And Sarah McManus. These freezes are so difficult. You don't want to bounce off. You want to just get to the face.
This one coming down, and that'll help get you out of an end. You're heavier, you come up chipping off that one, can be in trouble. But now they got that second and third shot.
That was perfect. So Team Canada could do a couple of things here. Obviously, they could rip the yellow one into the red into the yellows. But they see an opportunity now with the amount that Val can see of that red stone that's top 12, that they could actually run it back on one of the yellow stones.
Really gotta go. Yep.
Really want to get by this top one.
Well, Val can't. Rex on the guard and opens up those zones. Not a terrible result. You probably want to miss it that way.
I would agree. I would agree, and I think she might have called a 10, 10 and a half, and it was at about an 11, so maybe a bit light, but still a decent result.
Kan vi på med till? Jag ger oss något. Jag bara funderar på om vi skulle göra den. Tänkte vi kunde vänta lite mer.
Would you ever consider just hitting the one on the right-hand side, the open one?
I don't think so. I think it's, what, fourth shot? We're on the second stone here in this end. I think it's time that you make a play on one of the other stones. So you can see about 3/4 of it. I like what the original call right there. Try and hit what you can see, knock the shot rock out, and roll your shooter over towards that one that's fourth shot.
So Sarah McManus trying to get rid of shot stone. Love to keep their shooter as well.
She might have been playing the
Whoa,
thin
and
double.
get the double.
Yeah, I was wondering. I thought about that after she let
With
it go
that weight.
with that weight.
Just a great read, catching it thin. Gets a lot of production out of that one stone.
That is a terrific shot. Great call by Anna. And just catching that back one. So that's turned around this end very, very quickly. Just that miss by Val on her first one by hitting that guard, so it gave Sweden the opportunity.
Sticks it on the top one, but loses the shooter. Change now. You said it, Melissa. Swung the other way. And now it's pressure a little bit on the Canadian side as opposed to on the Swedish side, which has been for the first couple ends.
Yeah, an end can change very, very quickly just by a half shot or a missed shot.
Jag tror ändå att det kommer gå ganska bra här, Anna. 9,5.
Gadda eller runda och ligga skottet.
Lite osäker på hur det ska gå där.
Canada would have obviously liked to have retained their shooter in play, but this gives Sweden an opportunity to hit and try and roll and spread their rocks apart. They'd love to force Canada to a single here in this end.
Ja, gillar det. Det var ju 9,5. Ja, den är lugn.
Trying to keep the momentum going in their favor is Hasselborg. Like the hit, and now will it stick around? And it rolls out, so just if you stick around, you're line 2 and got the force. Now it rolls out.
And just on a release, you can, I know it's a little bit of a different release than what we would typically see, but it's almost like she sort of backhands it in you know, she's confused herself that that one didn't curl up as much as possible.
All right.
You can see her kind of questioning it.
No, roll it första dragning.
Okay.
But if you're ever wide at all, it does float there for a long time before it makes its curl.
Let's make it carry.
So the blank is back on here for Team Canada. They can exchange rocks here with Sweden.
Maybe a little hot now. It's kind of going.
She'll have an opportunity to blank on her last.
All right. Good. Nice.
Hey, almost could tell they're worried about getting, if he got to the center line, it might go too quick.
That's okay. Is Wade okay? Yeah, sorry.
If we just watch how Anna lets go of the stone, Luke, you can kind of see she starts with the handle at 12 o'clock and then she sort of backhands it, whether it be an in turn or an out turn, clockwise or counterclockwise. And you can just see sometimes you just have to be careful how much you put it out there. Here's the straight handle and then she'll just put it out. See, that one was nice and soft. That was the kind of the way that she normally would do it, whereas the previous one, I think she just got it going a little too much.
So the nose hitch, and something for a lot of young curlers to watch is all the releases are so different, but you want to try and keep it consistent with your team. You'll see the Canadian team will have a very similar release, where Sweden is a bit different.
That's right. You'll see, like, the way we used to teach it, right? As a coach, as we teach, you start your rock at 10 or at 2 and you let it go at 12 all the time. But you'll see a lot more teams now at the elite level starting at 12 o'clock and doing that kind of backhand. It keeps the rock straighter for a long period of time, a longer period of time. So,
and it's easier on an arena ice surface where you're going to get that extra curl compared to in a
Exactly.
club where it may be a little straighter.
exactly. So you see that she started nice at 2 o'clock, releases at 12, and it's very, very consistent.
Well, and this time it's Carrie Anderson trying to blank the end. And this one will roll out, so Canada gets the blank in the third end. Will remain 2-1. Canada leading. And we'll still have the hammer when we come back for the fourth.
Jag tar den som första scen.
Yeah. Good sweep in.
Is that a little tight?
A little bit. Got in soon enough though. Yeah. Good call. Good.
Okay, just keep it going. Yeah. Got the hammer and the even ends now.
Yeah.
See if we can get a deuce.
Yeah.
If we get inside that like 4-foot line,
It's curling.
they will move like yours moved.
Oh yeah, nice. Spun it back.
Bra liv i den.
Ni kan gå!
Det är bra Fia.
Johanna, även om inte du tror det så tycker vi ändå att den känns som att den
Det är bra Fia.
spinner lite annorlunda. Så att alltså som att den går.
So centerline guard starts things off here in end number 4. Canada against Sweden. That third end sort of went back and forth, and it ended up being a blank for Canada.
Shannon's rock. Top 4.
Both sides trying to put together one of those 8 shots in an end, and you can really try and team that does that, I think, is going to grab control of this game.
Yeah, that's a great point, Luke. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen 8 rocks in a row.
Good girls. Great weight.
Both front ends playing very, very well right now. Getting the end set up. And then there's just in kind of the middle of the pack there, or the end of, or towards the back end, just a half shot miss or full miss, and it's caused some back and forth. So a great guard there, Sophia, and now trying to freeze to that one that was thrown by Brianne.
Just trying to freeze to it, and a little bit of separation.
Kändes den lite glidigare än där då? Jag tyckte inte att garden kom ner. Alltså, jag tyckte inte att den bromsade sig riktigt.
I think this way.
This way is probably better.
Okay. Just bite the 8 foot. Okay. Yeah. Try to be even as best you can or farther back. Okay.
Well, and Melissa, obviously in Canada, a lot of talk about this team that was put together a couple years ago being 4 skips. They went from skip to a team of skips, and it's now gotten a little bit forgotten because, but even in that conversation, you could sense the skip in a lot of their minds of, with Brianne saying, well, even or if not deeper. Whereas some players aren't thinking all as much as that. I think that's an asset, especially with how athletic these 4 members of Team Canada are.
I fully agree. It's an asset. It's nice to have that skipped brain where you're always thinking about the best place to put a rock, the best tolerance, best everything, and it's an affirmation when you make a call as the skip, as Carrie does, that you have the affirmation of the team, the rest of your team. So I think it's a great combination.
And the Sweden team been together for 4 years, obviously put together a different way because of obviously the number of curlers in Sweden, and they were really put together and had success at their first Olympic Winter Games, 2 silvers at the Worlds. Hoping to get over the hump and get a world title here.
All right, you got it.
Nice freeze made.
Yeah, that small mistake by Canada, that rock going too deep, gave Sweden the opportunity to play that freeze again and makes it perfect this time. So Canada has no option right now but to try and clear things up a bit.
No roll.
Good, 9-2.
Trying to hopefully stick for a bit of a corner, but it rolls too far.
I don't notice that.
As much as it was before.
0. Ja. Nej, 95.
Some teams you would see them actually making the play on the Yellowstone that's frozen to the red one right now and try and move it back and maybe sit 3 at the end of the shot, but they don't need to. Their goal for Team Sweden is actually to force Canada to a single point here if they can. I mean, obviously a steal would be great, but if they can ever force them, that's a little bit of a victory so that they can hammer back in the 5th end. They're just going to keep putting up that guard and make Canada to have to make a difficult shot.
Just play that through here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be a little careful on this one. You don't want to run yellow onto red.
Just tick that top one off the side ever so slightly.
Good try.
Not a great result. Does leave
It's okay.
Sweden line 2nd and 3rd.
Har lite käppar. Går det?
Well, I think Sarah McManus has seen this shot before. Just doesn't have to make the double on it.
Vicka lite. 10. Ja. Bra spår här.
Because of where that second Yellowstone went, it's even with the Yellowstone they're about to hit. Now this is why they're making the play on the one in the rings, because it's set up that there's no double. So if they can hit and now roll the other way, they're really setting themselves up to force Canada to have to take a single point.
Kicks that one over, lies 3.
Anna, gillar du den?
Jag tror det, ja.
Den här kändes som alltså, mer bara rakt fram och inte så mycket ut.
Okay. Take your camera off.
So as a damage control, try and open up that scoring zone, even make sure you score your 1.
I think they're taking on the double for sure. I'm not sure if they think they can catch the third one or not, but it's close.
On it now, do they get the second one? They don't get the second one at all. They make contact, but it's still in play.
Good throw.
They just missed the call. If they sweep that a little earlier, there's a chance they get the double and clip that back one. It was so close. If you watch the action, they hit that another inch thinner. It would have caught the one on the tee line over here
Nice throw.
and made the double.
Maybe even had a bit more weight still to go off on the third one.
Yes, exactly. So close, but advantage still here to Team Sweden right now, but it does open up the 4-foot area for the draw if it's needed.
Nose hit to lie 3. There's a couple doubles, but noticing the real late sweep calls in the last couple. We'll see if the sweepers are staying a lot closer on them, knowing that they're making that late break.
Make this double in the roll.
And again, we didn't see that late break happen too many times earlier, so it is, as you say, now it's happening. The sweepers have to be ready to go.
I like that too. Make sure. All right, you got it.
Just narrowly missed it on her first, now trying to make a double for sure.
Yeah, I would really like 2 of these Yellowstones to go away.
Yes.
And they get 3.
Well, there's 1, get the second. Do they roll it over? Just over the top. And again,
Keep going.
do they move it out far enough? I don't think they do.
Really good. Awesome.
Very close, but you also saw it hit off the boards.
I didn't see what happened over there. It did.
So you'll watch this Yellowstone that hits, bounces off the board and actually hits the red one,
Keep going.
which is quite crucial because now we don't know
Yeah.
if it moved it enough to affect who shot over the yellow and red at the back. But it looks like they've had the conversation and
Yeah, it's a tough one. You don't know the precise location.
exactly.
You try and put it as close as you can. These 2 teams will know each other. The sportsmanship there.
Ja, det enda är att vi inte vill att de ska kunna göra den dubben och rulla dit. Då måste jag sätta dubben.
Men hamna lite mer där då.
Full 8.
Alltså med linan då.
Ja.
Typ den som jag hade. Ja.
Full 8.
Alltså jag lirar ju min, jag kickade en 0 och gav den framåt.
Tjejer!
Ja.
Eller vill ni slå
Canada
en
was
tredje bara för att det är svårt att...
Nej, vi gillar den.
millimeters or centimeters off of making 2 doubles, maybe even a triple on one of them.
Topp 8.
Yeah,
Now
so
it-
close.
Chance to lie 2 for certain, maybe even 3 for Sweden.
T-line.
Keep that force in play.
Den duttar ju där.
Så helt okej spår så länge man sätter dit den.
Typ en 05. Ja, hela det.
Anna Hasselberg just putting this one top 12, top 8.
Bra fart!
Och där ska du! Finger 8!
They don't want to set up any sort of double, and especially a double with the roll. They may even it.
Bra fart!
Lägg den 8, bryt med matser!
Gå för 8!
Tror ni det där
14
ändå?
halv!
Vänta.
Bra fart!
Den går i sidled nu.
No, it looks like they're going top house. This is a good call.
Bra Anna. Snyggt. Bra. 05.
Yeah, I think far enough there. No real double there.
Jag gick också. Or even just hitting the front one and sticking for shot stone, they have to hit it. They give us an open hit and stick for one. Yeah.
Okay. My only other thought was like the hit and roll.
Yeah. We might not be
Yeah, as long as we
second.
roll for shot, we're in good shape.
Could maybe make the double a little big.
Like there with like a normal?
But yeah, then they gotta stick in the rings, or else they give us 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well make it.
Watch if it hangs, we could get the roll behind.
Okay, it's normal.
So her normal weight.
Trying to get the top double. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the shooter going? Anywhere?
Well, if we're making it, we're nosing
It's close to
Okay.
nose. Okay.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if we're playing.
Yeah, that's good. Kurt.
Well, Switzerland leading Italy 4-0, and we look over. Kind of not what I'd want to be faced. You see Stefania Constantini got this long angle raise. Got to try and tap their own in.
Against at least, looks like 3 probably Yellowstones in there.
But look at this, catch it perfectly off the other yellow. Wow, great way to score 1. That's a lot of work to get a single point. And on the board for Italy, 4-1 they're down. What a shot to get 1.
And on our sheet, Luke, just not a good result there for Carrie. She did remove the top one,
Thought with that,
but it
we could
actually,
run a little bit
the
more.
one she went to hit, she lost her shooter and it jammed on the redstone that was at the back. Luckily, I think that Yellowstone has rolled out. So for Team Sweden, they're just going to put another one in the rings, probably top 12, splitting the center line, and they're going to force Carrie to likely have to go out wide to make a draw to the 8-foot for the point.
Känns lite längre.
Ja, lite hårdare.
Vill jag eka foten?
These are always the decisions. You play these teams enough times, you kind of try and decide, what do you want the skip to throw on our last one? Do you want her to throw a hit or do you want her to throw a draw?
Bara sitta va? Bite 4 nu bara.
Håll höjden.
Bara.
Well, that one coming in there, I think we'll probably see a hit now.
I think so. The hits have been difficult thus far that we've seen. We've seen a lot of hit
Real
and roll out.
sensitive in spots.
Very.
So maybe that's in the thought process of why you went in as far as you did. Obviously, you go higher, you're going to get the draw.
All right.
Okay. 10?
Yep.
You got it right on the nose.
Carrie Anderson
Yeah. You got it, Kurt.
hit and stick, needs stay in the full 8-foot to get this single point.
Same weight. Hair less. Roll with your 9. Whoa. Clean. A little heavy actually. Just clean.
Well, they want to hit and stick, keeping the broom down all the way to the nose, and a single point for Canada. Facing 3, they extend their lead back to 2. We're through 4 ends, and it's a 3-1 Canadian lead over Sweden here in session 2.
When I heard same, but that was a 9. So. Yeah.
Jag tycker verkligen att vi ska se och så här, snacka bra, ta plats. Det är sjukt lång match, så bara se till att ta en 2 här nu.
Men jag hann inte på att fånga
Det är inte ditt jobb eller? Alltså det är inte ditt huvudsakliga.
Nej.
Welcome back. Our continuing coverage, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. Canada leading Sweden 3-1. Canada got a 2 in the first and some mistakes, but teams are starting to get a little bit sharper here in the middle part of this game, and I expect to see lots of shots being made here late in the game. Trying to get these guards in good position. You see Hasselborg come out. I've seen that a lot of the switching, and with Sarah McManus actually taking it easy, so I don't know if there's a bit of a lingering injury or something, but they've been definitely protecting her a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and it's interesting, we talked about it in the very first end about that rock, because that was the rock that we assumed that was the rock that got hogged. So every single time that Sophia has to throw that rock the first time, is usually pretty much sweeping it from end to end just to get it into the position it is. Nice pair there by Brienne.
Not a lot of teams use this as frequently early in the game, but Sweden is one that does, depending on where it's positioned. This will be to try and get the corner guards in play.
Yeah, great tactic there by Sweden. When they don't have hammer, they put up that center guard and then they freeze on their second one. But when they do have hammer, their goal is to try and get their corner guards first. So they try and move that shot like that off the center line and try and roll to a second corner.
In a while. Should be similar to when I threw it last time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just halfway. I agree. One. Yeah, go then. Gotta go. Hard. Gotta drag it. Almost 2. Hard.
Shannon trying to guard this one up. See the big drag on it. Very long guard, so they'll actually expose that one in the house.
Just needs to give us a little more.
Yeah, and that's just a bit of a mistake. If you're going to come up light, that's not the side that you really want to leave exposed. Well, with this situation, there's kind of a guard on each side, but this now gives Sweden the opportunity to hit and roll behind those 2 corner guards. So if anything, you want it to be on the other side of center.
And they got off knowing that they were going to be onto the guard. Canada and Shannon Burchard get away with the first one.
Den där känns.
Just a hair more. Mine's good. Mine's better. Mine's good. Halfway. This one. Let it work a bit.
Let it work. Brienne, drop. Gotta finish, Brienne. A little deeper.
You hear the numbers that they're using. The earlier one was 2. This one's kind of a 2-3. Those are the numbers that we referred to earlier, but the 2-3 are actually the zones now. They've using the numbers as zones. So zones 1 to 3 is the area between the 12 foot and the hog line. So 2 obviously being in the middle, 3 being a tight guard. So again, another form of communication for these teams.
Agnes looking to run this one back. Open up that center line. Won't get the one in the rings, but rolls it off at least. Still has that draw path to use the corner guard.
Okay. No. Not crazy, but it's not like heavy. I would agree.
Close look at the release there for Val Sweeting, right off the fingertips.
2-3. 2-3.
That left-handed release, one of 2 players
A little higher than yours.
in the field along with Anna Kubeshkova.
And Val's very technically sound, as you can see by that throw.
Great. Nice.
Always get a decent read off her rocks, I'm sure, for Carrie. Very consistent.
Så jag är inne på att våran gard är bra att ha kvar.
Fjärdedel! Tredjedel!
Is there enough room? Do they think they can carry him through? They look a little too close.
Yeah, I don't think that it's there.
Jag tror det går riktigt rakt.
I'm not sure if she's maybe trying to hit the red, yellow, and spin a little bit to open up the middle a bit more. Or she's trying to straight run back. Yeah, that's what she was trying, I think.
And they'll spill another red one right in on top.
It was a very interesting call when you look at it, Luke. There wasn't a lot of room on that side of the ice, or that side of the rock, to hit. Like it as you said, there wasn't much room in between the two. And then you had to be careful of the jam, which is what happened. I would have been probably a little more tempted to come the other turn on that shot.
What's your other thought?
I like the guard. Okay, so just tight.
4 feet out. Same weight, should be close and we can sweep it.
Yeah, same to touch more.
The other thing too right now, the way the situation, if you put a good guard up here, if Sweden will ever have to draw to the forefoot, they have to go a lot wider out. And I'm not even sure if there's enough rings to do that, or enough space to do that. But for Canada right now, in a good position to really put a lot of pressure on Team Sweden.
Well, they haven't made one of these runbacks yet.
Didn't mess up the line call.
Nailed it.
Jag tyckte jag låg lite
I
tajt.
guess if we came in.
Yeah, Canadian team seems pretty loose right now.
They do.
Gillar du den?
Yeah.
A couple different ways. You could probably hit this and get a result.
Got two options here for sure. They can hit their yellow one straight back, perhaps double out the red Canada stones. That's why they wanted this red guard a little farther in. Or they can double peel the two guards. Both are very good results.
Well, there's the double peel. Rolls it off to the side. Getting so late in the end, and it's just been Sweden chasing.
Again, Luke, when you have a look at the entire situation down there right here, how do you get to the forefoot to score? I don't know if there's a way in right now. Especially if this rock goes towards the center line.
In the middle of them both is fine. Probably.
Yeah. Like this double doesn't look super awesome now that that guard's in the way a little bit. Like it's there, but it's not visually appealing.
Okay.
Hey. You just want to kind of split?
Yeah, just short a little bit maybe.
Okay. Tight? Or like same depth as
line.
ours?
Same depth.
Line's more important.
Like 4 feet out.
Okay.
Okay, speed's nice here.
Just a little less extra when I've been
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's sliding not bad here. Not lightning, but not bad.
Can't take away both rocks with this one stone, obviously. So
Okay, so most we've seen.
they want to try and show her a little bit of a piece on the center line side.
I think she sets a
They
little.
don't want to leave enough of a port that there's a potential to come through a port and get the double. So they would like this tighter. And it's over curling a bit.
Good spot. Good care.
That's about as best you could do.
Yeah, trying to protect two stones with just one.
French fry.
Yeah, they're all the same size. It doesn't work.
You don't throw the extra wide one.
You can see there, though, that they left the port and about half a stone, maybe? It's tough, but I think the double's there.
Can you? You'd have to lose your shooter in order to make that.
You would, definitely.
Om man skulle göra den och den här spinner dit. Vad gillar ni?
Vi var inne på den där.
Vill man inte vara bort de här?
Då drar ju de bara, men...
Ja, då har vi ett tapp.
Ja.
Men jag
Du
vet
inte
inte,
det var
eller
kvar,
något.
eller?
Jag tror typ jag gillar den, ja.
Jag gillar den. Också den farten. Var en 10 kanske, eller?
10 typ. Alltså för den var inte så jävla hård.
Som vi rullar så kommer vi...
Behöver vi inte lite mer för att få ändå på ut båda åtskoten?
Jag vet inte.
Jag sätter den som jag gjorde i första, 10,5.
Tycker du spelar med 10,5?
Ja.
Jag gillar, du har 9,5 vill jag också.
Mot 10 eller? Ja.
Om den översta ska reda ut.
Ja.
10,5 mot 10!
Ja.
Vad sa 9 mot 9?
Se till att hålla er nära!
Jag kan ta 8.
Ja!
Definitely where the broom is, they're going after that
Det var
double.
ju det du har lirat. Så.
It's how much weight they're going to throw.
Lite lösare sammansättning.
And I think if they throw solid weight, they could easily get the double, but they will lose their shooter. So based on the amount of ice they have, I don't think she's going to be throwing peel at this by any means. I think a nice control weight here and save her shooter. That's, I think, goal number 1 is to save the shooter, move the red ones around, and hopefully get rid of at least one of them.
Oh, they got to get through the hole first.
Wow.
Won't get by and will crash on the front. So it's going to be a real tough score now, I think, for Sweden with the hammer.
I think you're right, Luke, and that was the tough thing about that shot is she really was trying hard for the hit and roll, but as soon as you drop your weight, you're going to get that extra curl. So it's really hard to navigate a port when your weight's down that much. So she threw the weight she wanted, don't get me wrong, but it was very difficult to navigate that port that way. So huge opportunity here for Team Canada now.
Tap isn't bad too, I guess. Not sure.
They can play the guard, they can play the tap to get one closer into the button area.
Yeah, okay. Straight back.
Just a hair high so that she doesn't have like if we go.
Okay, yeah, kind of leave a crotch almost. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So a hair on the left-hand side of center. Is what she was saying, to tap it a little bit?
14, high 13s.
To hit it on that side.
Yes, a little on the high side.
Maybe a touch less, Val.
You always wonder though, if you bring it into the rings, you are giving them a shot, right? If you're outside the rings, as we've already mentioned, the draw is very difficult if it's even there. And she'd be drawing against 2. She may have that double opportunity again if you don't cover it all. But so all preference here. I mean, it's not wrong, definitely not wrong to come in and try and tap things around a bit.
Getting better. Nice, it's good. Weight's perfect.
We always say it's hard to steal if there's one not in the 4-foot area. So that's what they're trying to do, is get one in the 4-foot.
Well, taps that one right up to the
That's
button.
really good.
Nice weight here.
Lying 3.
Really nice.
Almost have to draw to just cut the steal to 1.
Yeah, way to keep
Or do you double the top 2 red ones to give up the steal of 1?
Because I agreed
That's
with you. It looked to
an
be a first
unbelievable shot. I don't think you could have done any better than that.
Den borde ju splitta den nere.
I really don't know how you score here, Luke.
Kom ner på Linus där fort. Jag tror inte, det känns som den sticker av direkt.
You think it? I think it might bounce too much unless it. You hit 3/4, 7/8. Does it go back enough to catch the back one?
Så tänker jag inte att den...
You got to throw a rocket to move it out because you're not going to hit much of it.
Exactly.
Alltså grejen är att vi har väl ändå inte ettan här.
Nej, det har vi inte.
Så en stenhård trapp ändå.
Men kan vi tappa 2 ifall jag skulle vara lite...
Den där lär jag orka ut.
Du får ju alltid ha den här sidan.
Ja, och då dubblar du ju
Jag
dem.
tycker vi kan testa på den.
Ska jag skicka på en 5?
See Coach Wayne there talking about it.
Se till att tjappa lite där.
I think you got to, as you say, you got to play it. And if you clip it and get lucky, that's a bonus.
Marginal där då.
Best case scenario, or
Här är din glatta sten.
realistic scenario is you give up 1.
Realistic scenarios, you give up 1, but I think they feel like if you throw it with a lot of weight, 7/8, just high side, but you have to have enough weight to push that one sideways as well, and then drag it back to double the other 2 off.
Well, if there's anyone in the field to throw this one, it's probably either the 2 skips on the ice.
I would agree.
So the last, the extra extension for Hasselborg. Try and make the double, and just over the top. So it makes the double to concede the steal of 1. Canada increases their lead. So we're halfway through, 4-1. Canada leads Sweden after 5 ends of play.
Nej, alltså... Den där, jag bara, den här kallar jag snart.
shooting, girls. Really good.
13-2.
Yeah, it came down really hard at the end.
Yeah.
Like I was like heavy, and then no, never mind, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, good to be on the higher side. Just so you can throw it how
Well,
you
first
see
end,
it.
Canada, Sweden. And after that Yellowstone, you see back of the 8-foot. That was Hasselborg's last. She was trying to freeze to the button, was heavy. So a spot that we hadn't seen a lot. And Anderson trying to tap it out to score 3. Try to get the sweep on to get it to curl enough. Do they have enough to chip that one out? Great effort to try and chip that one out. They get it out, but they can't hold the shooter. Canada still scores multiple points, gets 2 in the first. In that second end. A key double takeout here. We'll play off the side one, really trying to allow them to set things up. Fourth end, looking at all those yellows. Sweden controlling, really one of the first times in this game that they have, and Carrie Anderson has to make the nose hit. And the Canadian skip, no real problem, just a light clean. This one comes right to the nose for Canada to get their single point. And they have the lead as we are through 5 ends of play. All the other scores, Denmark, Japan. Denmark leading 3-2 in the 6th end of that game. Well, it is Canada 3-1 in our feature game. You see that. China up 5-2 over Estonia, and Switzerland 9-1 over Italy here in session 2.
So that's all I'm saying. Just it's ever changing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'll just throw minimum, that'll get there and see what happens. I won't baby it.
Yeah. Loving the intensity. That's what I put. I'm loving the intensity out there, you guys. Keep that go.
Let's fucking do that. Yeah, exakt. How much? Jaha, där. Så inte att de vill att jag ska luta på den där.
So if you think that rock's straight, you get rid of it.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Do you think it's straight?
Well, and it said like the first 3. After the first 3, it might be a little straight, but
I like my rocks.
The hits are running pretty straight.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Vill du byta någonting eller?
Spelar ingen roll. Du får bestämma.
Det är upp till dig.
Through 5 ends of play, here's the statistics. 4-1 Canada leads the game. Overall percentages, it's trying to figure out the ice of the first game of the event for each team. 79% to 72 favor of Canada. Obviously in the draw percentage, 84 to 76 advantage, and in hit percentage, 75 to 68. That one stolen point by Canada was in the 5th end. Sweden happy to just give up that single point stolen. Canada put together a great end, and all Sweden could do. I think if the last one for Hasselborg, it might have been there to make the triple, but they had to hit it a little thicker.
That's just a hair less.
Would have been real close.
They did have to hit it thicker. I actually thought she was throwing the other turn at first to try and get the redirection of the turn. So the way she threw it, yeah, it kind of went with the momentum. So really close. I mean, she threw it as best as she could. She made it as best as she could. And I just don't know if it was hard to know if it was really there.
That's one you want to put back out on the ice and try a few times.
Absolutely.
So the first stone for Canada goes top button.
So some conversation going on. We listened to the teams there that Anna's just questioning her rocks. She's questioning whether one of her rocks is straighter. And, you know, as a coach and you know, Wayne Madaw said the same thing. If there's any doubt in your mind, especially in the skip's position, just get rid of it. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Just get rid of it.
Det var mattan som vi inte pratade om. Det var mattan som vi inte pratade om. Du lirar en bra, Fia.
Well, we've seen Sofia come up light on those guards. That one coming in, I wonder if they did maybe switch stones and it was a little bit quicker. Brianne Mayer, 90% on the game.
Yeah, Brianne's having a brilliant game here. First game of the World Championships.
Makes the hit and will roll out of the rings. So Sofia will get a chance to do a redo and get this corner guard out in front. The 78% for Mabergs in the lead position. That's a very low number, especially for Sofia. Expect to see her right there with Brianne in the 90s.
And that just shows the struggle that she's been having with her rocks. And again, we see there Sarah McManus dropping off and Anna hopping out to help with this brush and trying to get that rock in a good position. It's like that rock was the first rock.
Hon har varit lös på alla hittills. Det är så här hon lirat hittills och den blev lös. Det var precis som det var. Jag tror att det var exakt det som
Yeah, it'll get over there. The guard won't be a problem.
Speed's nice.
Yeah, you got it.
Shannon Burchard obviously had a wide open miss in the first end, drops the numbers down, but has picked up her game since that point. Guard is out in front, may leave a little bit of that open, not enough to play a hit on it. Agnes Knockenhauer at 73% on the game.
Sweden needs to try and get a good freeze here. They just gets past that corner guard.
How they try and get the curl, but just that extra weight didn't allow it to do anything.
Yeah, a couple feet less weight, they would have had a perfect freeze there, but they, right at the end, tried to try and go around it, and it was just a bit too late for that. So, opportunity here now for Canada. Keep applying the pressure to Team Sweden.
Roll in a little bit there. We've seen some early mistakes by Sweden. And how much goes into the mindset of a thrower, knowing that if Sarah McManus is fighting an injury, and doesn't have that sweeping that Agnes overthrew hers. Is that Does it get in your head? And they've been playing a couple events with it where they've been trying to protect the sweep.
I don't think they're trying to protect the sweep. I think, especially knowing Sarah, she's going to go all out regardless if she's injured or not, and we don't know that for a fact, right? We have no idea, but you can't think about that when you're a thrower. You just worry about trying to make the shot as best you can. As a sweeper, you try and make the shot as best you can. That's all you can do.
Trying to get right into the nose of that one.
Again, just a couple feet too heavy. You didn't want to move that red stone. That red stone stays exactly where it was. How does Canada get rid of it? So for now, for Team Canada, they could actually hit and roll another one behind that center guard, or they can even just nose it and actually get rid of the one that's behind the tee line altogether, depending on how they want to look at that, because that rock behind the tee line is not helping Canada at all.
Well, there's the hit. We'll actually roll a little too far. Opening up that button area again.
As good as it looks for Canada right now, it is advantage Sweden with the way the rocks are positioned. There's a couple great opportunities here right now for Sweden to get some rocks in good places and make it very difficult for Canada to get rid of them.
Bak 4 då?
Bak 4 fart.
Ja, jag tror att det där är max, ja.
Well, Sarah McManus at 83%. Per game, including in that third end, was really just a great thin double.
Trying to get by this guard. Oh.
Chips off.
Again, the wrong side of the inch.
Det var ett streck efter dig när du sladdade. Jag var bara inte säker på om det var du.
Vi höll inte helt upp. Jag var ner efter 2 sekunder.
Canada lies 3.
Jag vill bara inte gå ner snabbt.
And now, with that one chipping over the center, is it taking away that in-turn path?
I agree, the in-turn draw does not look friendly right now with the way those guards are staggered.
Probably won't be as good as. No, I agree. Haven't played this side in a while.
I don't think it's too bad though.
No.
Val Sweeting, 75%.
Good recognition there by the front end. They said they haven't played this side in a while, so just good communication on what they figure Val should throw on the weight.
Keep going. Oh, you got Sharon. Oh, you got
Good sweep.
Great brush. Good. Nice sweep, Val.
Well, taking away that out-turn,
Good
that
spot.
side path to the button.
Yeah, had a girl, good pair.
Den inne så ligger nedanför.
För mig känns det som att det finns ett hål. Alltså det finns ett hål, men
Having a look, Luke, to see if there's a hole there between those two red stones.
Alltså så här, typ en 10 i hålet inifrån.
10 utifrån. Och sen...
Alltså den som har det mot 9 halv. Alltså det här skulle vara
I don't know.
Går det att nå den?
It might just be there, but
Annars skjuta!
it's also the reverse stagger.
Vad gillar ni? Den där är övergömd. Den här har jag halv eller 55.
Jag gillar skjuta!
Vad gillar ni?
Skjuta!
Ja, min första var skjuten.
Ja! Alltså öppna fyrfoten och
Jag tror det är
skapa
som
en
en
division med
än mer.
Ja.
cornern.
Ner mot dem.
Ja, för att få bra vinkel på
Ja,
stopparna.
spela så.
Ja, raka. I center vi väl bort.
In här. Vilken hand?
I think this makes a little more sense than that was all or nothing to try and get through. If you don't make it through, you're in even more of a pickle.
Definitely, Sweden's got to give themselves an opening here to try and score. We're getting late in this end.
I'd like to get something out of the rings, and there it'll open off the side.
It's not a bad result. They got rid of the red center, red one in the rings. Again, though, access to the button is not really there right now.
Yeah, replace the guard seems.
This spot's good, Care.
Even if you're just touching center, or even like third across center.
You could even be, you know, splitting center and give Sweden that perceived port again through that hole, but
it's getting so late in the end. Carrie Anderson, 75%.
A little bit on the line. Yeah, you can go. 3. Weight's good. 3. How's your curl if you're high? Okay, weight's good. It's right there.
as you say, just want to get to center, maybe just a little over center.
Nice. Good spot.
That's a really good shot.
Girl.
Yeah, there is a wide hole to get through. It's just how much it curls late. It's not easy to get through with that on the right side of your picture.
I would not. Alltså det vore ju kanon liksom. Ja, du tar till
Stanna
den.
där, trycka den så.
Ja, exakt. Jag tror verkligen att vi har den. Vad hade ni på mina på långa?
Agnes var...
Kan vi göra isen heller?
Nej, där var Agnes.
13-7 på första och 13-9 på andra.
Ja, jag tänkte också där någonstans.
Den är bra då, 13-9.
Men ändå med liksom en sättning så du får ligga kvar lite grann.
Några här nu. Vad vi kan Anna lira då? 0-5 bara aktiv.
Vi lirar en baklock, tjejer!
Ja!
Kan ni bara hålla er nära?
Ja! Jag hade ju 13-9 på min. Ja, det är nära där. Den gled ju lite.
Precis, den ska ju komma in i det där som Agnes var
ja,
i.
Så då borde den
den ska komma in lite.
Så den ska liksom in en sten tidigare bara. Ja, då borde den tappa det sista lilla. Sen kan vi gå in då.
So I think they're going to try and draw in their Luke, and they literally just have to feather by that yellow guard on the left-hand side.
55% for Hasselborg. Don't think I've ever seen a game where she's been that low. Come to expect the high numbers and great shot making from her.
This looks really good.
Make sure try and get shots don't out of it. Don't bounce too far.
What a shot.
Fabulous.
Wow. That was such a tough shot.
Actually made it look a lot easier than it was.
She did. And she got by with the outside yellow one by good 8-10 inches.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. As long as we block that angle. Yeah, it looks like they're just going over kind of sit in the hole. Yeah. This might be tight ice because they're really curling over there.
So guard take away the draw and the corner guard raise.
That's exactly right. Team Canada would be very, very happy if Sweden got a single point here in this end.
How tight do you want to be?
So if they can just put one in the space between the center line and that yellow stone, try and prevent that yellow, long yellow run.
Yeah, I agree. Similar to hairless. Yeah, the wing ones are going good.
Would leave maybe that on the left side of your picture, the out turn for Hasselborg to maybe be able to get to the forefoot, but I don't know if it's even there.
Weight's good.
I'm not sure it's there either.
3 over, top 12 almost. Hold it. 3, good.
You're hearing the 3, that's tight to the ring. She doesn't want to be in.
Really dying. Over north.
Okay, over north. Really dying. It's like high.
It has to sit.
Good. Okay, wow.
Good.
I think that takes away the draw.
It takes away the run, for sure. It takes away the draw, but does it leave her an opportunity to throw a little more weight
Too much there. I need a little more ice. Just as soon as we picked up.
and get anything out of that?
Like a back line.
Alltså, det var ingen fara. Det var inte som att det
The thing is, she has to get to the nose of her yellow stone.
Inte förrän efter garden!
Bakåt bara eller?
Ja,
så en meter till bara.
tänker jag.
Alltså jag tror att hennes är crossbook bakåt om vi bara får sopa den.
Backline, hack weight even, comes through the port, gets close to the nose as possible on that yellow stone on the button.
Ja. Tror att du vill kicka lite hårdare eller samma med mer
I
sop?
think it's there.
95.
Så jag var ganska
Tough, but I think it's there.
Jag tror det också. Så lite till då.
Yeah, and if Canada was able to sweep that and get it a little bit deeper in the right spot, that wouldn't be a possibility. Not easy, but it's an opening. Made a great one on her first. Now Hasselborg make a second, get a skips deuce. Could be just what Sweden needs.
Lite mer! Bak 12! Bakåt!
Wow, got to get past the front first. Got to hold to the line. Get by. Just get by. And they'll tap it on the nose for 2.
What a shot!
What a sweep. Knockenhauer and Malbergs. I thought they were on the guard.
I did too.
And just like that,
Amazing shot.
Sweden gets a deuce. They're down by 1 after 6 ends of play.
Sorry about that. We just
What a
kinda picked
pair
up and
from
then
the
it
Swedish
just
skip.
went.
Yeah, I think if we hit it early, it's okay.
It was max weight though, so it was hard to hit it early because then we would have just been in the house and out of the way again.
Oh,
as
we were
well.
just up here.
It kind of came down
but-
once it caught the curl though. Vad tror du om kicken här?
Alltså jag tänker en 10 ändå.
Ja, jag tror också det. Jag tror att det kommer sitta något mer i det där vita där.
Ja.
Så jag gillar det.
Jag gillar typ också det. Ha plats just nu!
Bra fart!
Bra linje! Ha plats! Lite mer plats än förra! Haken, den rullar mycket. Bra linje! Bra linje! Känns där.
Bra fart!
Lite, Agnes!
Det är bra fart.
You're watching live coverage. Canada versus Sweden, our feature game, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. Luke Kohler here with Melissa Saligo, and
Okay.
that's quite a pair. World-class shot making by Anna Hasselborg.
Okay. It's not on this.
Unbelievable. Those were 2 incredible shots by Anna. And as we saw, her percentage coming into that end, 55%. So she really needed those. And just two incredible shots. And what amazing brushing by her front end.
Yeah, those 2 shots, she's now at 63%. That's a big jump making those 2. And giving her team some life when they just doesn't seem to be that spark, that fire early on in an event, but you know you're playing Canada. Canada talked in their 5th end break about the intensity. Our coach Heather Nedwin saying, I love the intensity. I don't know if maybe you let off a little bit knowing you played that, and that last placement of the guard wasn't quite perfect and left a sliver of an opening.
It did, and those are kind of frustrating, right? You control the entire end. It's your end, so to speak, and then just 2, not even 2 mistakes, just an overcurl on the last one by Carey, but 2 amazing shots by Sweden. You can't take those away from her.
Almost just got to tip your cap and move on and try and forget that end.
Exactly. So for Canada, you know, when that happens, you can feel a momentum changing, and so you just have to be very, very aware of what's going on the ice and just stick to your game plan. You have to remember what's happened here. in the first 6 ends is the degree of difficulty for Sweden has been very high, and the degree of difficulty for Canada has not been as high. But you can see those things may change now. So you just have to be aware and keep sharp. And as Coach Heather Nedwin said, keep the intensity high.
So Sweden guards up that red stone after the chip taps the Sweden stone in. Take it away because you can peel your own guards early. Trying to get a little split, get them both on. Great shot. We'll get them both on the paint.
Sorry.
That's a great shot, is right.
Good. Create confusion in the hack.
Is that one just biting the 12-foot? We'll look in China and Estonia. China with the hammer in this 6th end. 5-2 is the score. And Han Yu. It's a couple big scores already in this game. Chance for another one. Youngster, this is the team that won the Pacific Asia Championship in 2019.
Looks like she's going to the back one for an opportunity for 3. And no mistake there by Team China.
Well, they continue to put up the points. 3 more for China. 8-2 after 6 ends. Looking like a great start for China and that team that knows they're the only country that has a spot at the Olympics as the host country. 10-team field, 9 spots up for grabs. Overall, 6 will be available here. The top 6 teams, and that'll be the 6 playoff teams because of the cancellation of last year's World Championship. It becomes a 1-event qualifier.
So good hit and roll there by Team Sweden. So forces Canada to go for the rock that's at the back, kind of behind the tee line there as we see it. Would have loved to have gotten a roll somewhere.
Good try.
Talk about the Olympic qualifying. These 2 teams and their countries have the aspirations not just to be the qualifying their teams, they want to be the team that's there. Obviously, we have the Olympic champion in this game. Looking to make that hit and roll. There's expectations that they'll be there, but there's no given. You got to play the event, and the 1-event thing, qualifier for 6 spots. There's extra pressure on these 2 teams to qualify their nation.
Hard, yeah, control.
And as much as you say you don't feel it, it's hard not to.
Absolutely, you definitely feel it. You never know what can happen in this sport, so job number 1 is finish in the top 6.
And that gets you in the playoffs, and that gets you a chance to become world champion. Trying to get by, not touch that top yellow. They'll make that hit and will lose the shooter in the process. Some momentum definitely swaying to the Swedish side after that last end.
It's one thing to have a momentum shift, but when you feel it and you know it, and Canada just needs to stay sharp, and you can feel Sweden just going up and up and up and up.
I think it's fair to say that Canada controlled the play up until Skip Stone's last end, and now hit here, basically playing for the force as opposed to the steal now. Sweden much more comfortable. Well, let it roll in, lie 2. But is there a double?
Looks like she can throw the double on it. Just a little on the low side, so on the center line side. She may even get, oh, she's throwing that turn. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, the other turn looks a little more appealing. So just maybe 7/8 on the low side or center line side. She'll get the roll and should be able to get the double.
9.
Clean. Yep.
Well, won't make the double rolls in front.
That was plan B.
8-6.
Ramos rolls just
Good ball.
quarter rock too much.
You heard them say 8-6. They wanted a 9, so they wanted kind of regular or normal weight. They threw an
Just a little,
8-6,
yeah,
which
8-6.
just a little
That's
too much
normal,
weight.
I would say. Yeah, it's within weight. 10,5. Mycket fart. 10,5. 11 nu. 11 nu.
Rallybig's trying to hold it on the center line side.
Bra, härligt.
Just touches theirs and keeps it in play.
Bra.
Nice shot.
Bra skippat, Anna. Bra fart också. 10-7.
Tappa lite maxvis, vågar inte riktigt sätta dit den.
Nej, det är bra. Bra. Det blev perfekt.
Bra spel. Jag känner mig lite maxis.
Another double opportunity here for Val.
Same weight. Close, yep. Hard.
Now a crack at it here for Sweeting. And misses the back one and overrolls the guard. Just so close to being perfect. We see how that, was it 2-3 ends ago where she just narrowly missed 2 doubles.
Brushed it all the way and just misses it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can miss that much closer.
This one ran
I agree.
for a curly spot. I don't know. Just
And I liked your
finicky.
throw.
Och sen bara, nej men det är lugnt och sen.
Men den bröt jag ändå till. Jag tror ändå du kan spela mot 10-8.
So we saw Sweden in the first half of the game sort of questioning, you know, ice rocks, whatever it happens to be, wrong side of the inch, and now we see Canada sort of having those same conversations. I liked your throw. You know, should be the spot we knew, and it overcurled. So again, just being very, very aware. Just keep putting that information in your data bank.
And reinforcing that you're throwing it well.
Exactly.
Well, you hit and roll back. This time it's Sweden that makes the perfect roll.
Lovely, lovely shot.
Oh, look at all the scores. We have one final. Switzerland defeats Italy. We're on sheet D 9-2. China's up 8-2 over Estonia. We're on sheet B 4-3. Canada leads, and Japan doubling up Denmark right now in the 7th end. And it is Japan who has the hammer in that game. But we have a battle ensuing. To no surprise of anyone that follows the game of curling, you knew that you were going to get this between Canada and Sweden.
I think you can carry right at it. Let's make this.
So Carrie's throwing the hit and try and roll in front of that other yellow stone.
Heavy! 11-5!
Clean.
Whoa! Shannon!
Oh, here trying to get that curl.
Really hard! Hard to hit it! Gotta go!
Can they get a piece, roll it off to the other side? Get fortunate. A little unfortunate they didn't remove either of them.
Yeah, heavy. Okay, Kara.
Shoot. Sorry.
11-3. Well, I wasn't sure why we were hitting it.
Yeah, I don't know either. I didn't say yeah, I don't think.
No, I just said clean.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't think I said yeah.
Känns fint här också.
Well, they don't get the result that they wanted for, and it rolls off. Now a chance for Sweden. They made the decision to change tactic from a steal to, you know what, we got a position where we can get the force. Get the force, get the hammer into 8.
And that's a huge thing for Sweden to force Canada here in this end. Just a bit of miscommunication maybe on that Canada stone on the last one. We heard the conversation going on.
That one stays around. It shouldn't make much of a difference. It's going to be the open draw here for Carrie Anderson. But I thought I heard something about someone say to go Shannon to curl, and it might have been Brianne, thinking then they need to do it on the other side of the rock down the ice.
And I think what the conversation there was between Val and Carrie was that they feel like the brushers maybe hit it early, and meaning trying to keep it straight early. But when it's heavy, you definitely don't want to do that, right? And you don't want to hit it early because it affects the path in that first 10, 15 feet. Halfway down, yes, they definitely needed to curl, so Shannon got on it to try and make it curl, but they felt like, you know, they altered the path too early is really what happened there. So put it out of your minds, and this is all about now trying to get full 8 foot here for Team Canada.
Last of the 7th, a 4-3 Canadian lead.
Looks like it's coming down.
Those 3 yellow stones belong to Sweden, all back 12 foot. Really working this to try and get it into the 12 foot. Mayer and Burchard, what a scrub by the front end of Canada.
Done.
Get it to the 8 foot to get the single point. A 2-point lead back. Great job by the front end to make that one for their skipper. Single point, 5-3 now after 7 ends.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okej. Ja. Och så, jag sa det till Hanna, hon sätter upp västen och så kör vi bara.
Ja, absolut. Men den här var lite
Så,
fram, så det är
ja,
bara
nej, men
en till,
men
en till.
också för att det är skönt, då kommer vi in i ett så här härligt
Verkligen.
rull bara.
Ja.
Hur tror vi alltså, att de gör då?
Add it a bit. Line's good. Top 4. Braid's close. Yep. You're in a little different path. Okay. It's really curling, guys. Still top 4. It's really curling. Still top 4.
Okay, just top 4 is good, over curling.
Good. Okay. Good.
Welcome back, Canada Olympic Park and the Winsport Arena, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. Luke Coley here, alongside Melissa Saligo, and that 7th end controlled by Sweden, using that momentum, and Canada trying to get it back their way, swing things in their favor, while Sweden will try and generate their 2. Hammer now 2 hammers to Canada's 1, but they got to score a 2 at some point right now, so they trail by that number right now.
And that single, you know, obviously Carrie would have liked a blank or double, or 2 points, pardon me, but that single is very, very important because it does recreate that 2-point lead, which is what you want. If Sweden were to get their 2 in this end, as you said, they have the 2 hammers to 1. Carrie would probably do everything she could to blank the 9th end and try and have that hammer coming home. So right now, for Team Canada, it's all about just keeping the control, trying to get some of their mojo back from a couple of ends ago, or at least the first half of the game. They just had a couple of mistakes that past end here, and now they just need to sort of reconvene.
We'll compare players. Brianne Mayer, 90%, and Maberg's at 78. Just hasn't been precise with a few of her guard placement.
Bra linje. Kom igen, vi håller på linje. Håll i den, vi kallar det över. Gå. Japp. Wow. Räcker.
Bra, yes, så.
See how much that one
Wow.
curled.
Verkligen.
You can see they actually got off. They wanted it to curl even more, come out the other side to use.
All there, I think.
Top 8. Easier.
I don't think we're
Looking for top 12 here. They don't want this one too deep.
I think we gotta bring
And they definitely don't want to bounce off anything. So
Top 8. We're 2 hours.
Always out.
Top 8. Right to it. Go to the face if you can.
Yeah, you gotta go. Hard. A little more. Okay.
that's pretty good.
Okay, 14-3.
Okej.
We'll check in. China leading Estonia 8-2. And this Estonia looks like very close to who shot stone in the forefoot. Chance of 2 if they're shot right now for Marie Thurman. This Estonia's first ever trip to a world championship. Having a rough start to it for them. Try and tap it and stick, but they'll roll too far. And they'll get 1. So a single point by Estonia makes it 8-3 as they head to the 8th end of that game.
Yeah, just a little extra weight there by the Estonia skip, and she would have had her deuce. So an overcurl here on our sheet by Team Sweden. They were trying to play the hit and roll behind the far corner, but they did remove 1 Canada stone.
Trying to hold this, not touch the guard. They get by. Just chip that one over. Resort those angles. Still, that one sits in a nice angle for Sweden.
Weight was good. That far. Yeah.
I thought she was maybe playing the hit and roll, but they're saying the weight was good.
I don't think we can hit rocks out with half from the top post. That's all.
You see Shannon Burchard 78% to Agnes Nockenhauer at 73. Battle of the 2 seconds, 5% difference.
Den är fortfarande lite lång. Den är 4 själv.
Jag tror att den är väldigt... Kommer mycket ner. Den kommer ner men fortfarande...
Line looks very good on this one. Nice shot. Canada's in a bit of trouble here.
I just got those yellows lined up to that 1.
Bra skipparna. Vad sa du? Yeah, let's make this value.
This is end number 8. It is Sweden with the hammer, a 5-3 game. If you're a Canadian fan, you still like the position that they're in. Try and get a force in the game. In the end, right now, angles favoring Sweden.
And for Canada, I mean, they don't want to give a deuce, but that is an okay scenario. They obviously don't want to give any more than that.
Really dead.
So that was a good shot by Val, keeping that one in play.
We might be second. Yeah, it's close.
Can you make that double, or is it too flat?
It's pretty flat. I'm not sure it's there.
And they're going to call timeout. Try and talk this one over here in end number 8.
Time. Alltså i så fall gäller jag att vicka långt. Alltså så, om vi ska spela på den. Men alltså den här är ju svår, vi har ju bara så.
You need to, this is good, Anna, this double, but they're going to have an easy double back, right?
What I said, yeah.
Right?
We're just thinking about tapping it.
You got to get rid of one. Now, Okay, so that's good. I almost think it's better if you nose it. Nose it,
And makes that
and that one goes over there, and this one, because then we keep control of the top.
And this one will still be better than ours here.
But it's still very control.
That's okay. We have control.
Wait, so we want to play
You-
to it, so we make, because we want to make this go here, right?
Yeah. So you want to throw like a normal, what's that? Like a 10, like a 9.5, 10. Yeah.
And this still have to go out.
Yes, that has to go out. That one's gonna dead jam. It's gonna be dead jam, shot right on.
Okay, let's play during the timeout.
Yeah. Okay. But that's the shot to set her up.
It's pretty straight and straight to the point by Wayne Madaw that you got to remove one now.
And he's right.
Jag var bara
So
vek på min här, vi höll den ändå.
they briefly talked about the red double. It is hard double, but it is there. Leaves Canada straight double back. So what's the point of that? I like what Wayne said about trying to keep control of that center area. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to throw a nose hit on their yellow stone.
Key to keep that stone out front so they can use it.
And you'll take note what they were trying to do is the reason they ran down to throw this rock is they were trying to bank a little bit of time because they have had a lot of discussions and their time has been ticking away there. So
They didn't quite get it on the nose and they barely moved that red stone. The Canadian side have been talking about it. The house getting a little dead. Stone's not going out quite as easy.
I'm shocked, really. Just an over curl. That red one didn't go anywhere, did it?
Went from top forefoot to back forefoot.
Wow.
I don't want to guard because then they just come around. That was my first thought. Then they draw. Do we ever draw? I thought the draw is just a little dangerous. That's my concern with it.
If we guard and she makes this double, we got.
Then
Do we
we're
ever
one
just
against
come right
three.
here?
Yeah. But then don't we set it up for her?
Yeah, I'd hate to ever go there and kind of leave her.
I don't mind a draw either way. The draw, yeah. Like the other option is
We know
to
the
try
path
and
here.
jam
If you
it
can
there.
get to there, that's pretty good.
And then she'll just
I just
play
worry we leave
that.
a pocket. I think this draw is okay because even if this is okay, this is okay.
Well, I don't
that's
think I'm
okay.
getting there.
No, but I mean, like if you just cross, you'd be
Like, I'm
here.
okay with her trying to run her own
Yeah,
back
because
to
like we
try
need to
and.
play that with weight,
Yeah.
right?
I don't mind your first idea because I just feel like we're leaving a pocket, like an easy slash.
Yeah.
She's got so many options on that.
Yeah.
And
It likely
if I
goes in
do-
here, but
Like, I just think there's more options.
yeah, I think if we can go right here, that's pretty good.
So just try and stay hair
Just to
high
walk
on
one
it.
in
yeah.
Okay.
She's thrown this path earlier, so it's going to be about the same.
Yeah.
This is my guard path in 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so
if
you
you
know
give
it's
us like a
just little
14 and a
stickier
half here.
on this side than the other side.
Oh, this is tighter line.
Can I just do hair more? Yeah, whatever you see, Val.
The angle's
a
not
little more, 'cause my guard was fully
great
up there,
for,
yeah.
it doesn't look like for Sweden with those two yellows. They are in front of the T line, can be used. Looks like what they're trying to take away.
I'm not convinced about the shot, to be honest, Luke. I
I
get
like the weight.
their conversation and I understand why they want to look at this, but I think they have an opening here, an opportunity to throw the other come around, get half buried around the top yellow one and put it in a good position. You're not going to hang it out to dry so that there's that easy slash that Val was referring to, I don't think. I think this is a way tougher shot.
Okay, let's get, sorry.
And I'm just not sure what they're getting out of
Okay,
it.
it's not bad.
Yeah. Sorry, I just killed the line there for you.
I think you had to go, though. Yeah.
The other reason I like the come around to the top four is because that one's sitting back four. So you needed to put it in a better position, I think, because that one's not good enough to score.
Man kan
Alltså antingen se något chatt på den eller kanske dutta ner någonting här.
Ja, jag tänker också det. Man kan
En 11 där, vilka kan?
Jo.
Jag tänkte man kunde lira en 11 här, halvträff och försöka komma ner skott och rulla
Jag tänker
också.
att den ligger lineat och vi är andra.
Ja.
Jag gillar draget.
Mm.
Ja.
Locket.
T-line.
Ja.
ganska bra. Det här kommer gå lite utanför då.
Sweden didn't really waste much time thinking about this as the option.
Spela dit lite.
Sarah mishit the one on her first rock. Now trying to bring this one right to the button. Should walk, especially once it starts going to the center line.
So by playing that shot that Canada did, you've left this opening here now for Sweden to make this perfect. Yes, it does shrink the scoring area, but Canada had that opportunity to get there first.
Look at that one come right down to the tee line. So right down to it. It is Sweden lying one.
What a great shot by Sarah.
Look at that one. It comes around actually out the other side as we have another final out on the ice. Normally say we see handshakes out there, but it's the broom taps or the waves. 10-3, China defeats Estonia. So China, good start for the Chinese girls to start this World Championship.
You guys like frozen right to the nose of it?
Okay. All right, we're thinking 14-3 to 14-5. Yeah.
Okay.
So Carrie would love to put this one right on the face of that yellow stone that was just thrown by Sarah McManus. Completely take away the scoring area right now for Sweden to get more than 1 point. But there's still a lot of options up there for Sweden with those two yellow stones at the top.
Still heavy.
Just don't want to bounce off too much if it's a bit heavy. Closes in those rings, and it is a shot stone. Still, it looks like for Sweden.
Nice. Beauty, Carrie. Nice weight. Great weight.
Nice shot by Carrie.
Någonting så att man får ner den där.
Ja, absolut. Jag gillar det. Så att
bara sticka den. Ja. Så även om du touchar där borde den sitta ovansidan.
Ja.
Absolut.
Tio då? Ja.
Ja, exakt.
Det gick ju rätt rakt när du lirade här. Ja, där är det.
Can you hit that thin enough, Luke?
To clear the other red?
To clear the other red, hit yellow.
Nej, jag tror att båda deras rycker.
Push yellow back onto red, but I'm not sure that you can remove the red that was just thrown by Carrie Anderson.
I think it might just spin a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. Depending on, I mean, she's going to throw a lot of weight here for sure.
We'll see. We haven't seen the stones very lively in the house, moving very far.
Yeah.
Compare the skips, and both lower than they're used to. 75 advantage to Anderson. Hasselwords first. Got to catch this without touching the other red. Right onto it and spins it off. That red went a lot further than I actually thought it might.
I agree. It was a good shot. Great result. She hit it right where she wanted. Red onto yellow, onto red and yellow. Got rid of the back red one and spun it open, and I didn't think it would spin that much. So really, really good result there.
So now if Anderson makes the same shot, there might still be something off that red to get a second point for Sweden. Could hit and roll off it, depending on obviously where this one lands.
Yeah, Team Canada definitely wants the exact same shot. Corner frozen, right on that yellow stone. Center line side. Gotta get a bye.
Well, they left it. Did they leave it too long? And they will touch on the front.
Okay. Good call, though.
But rolled it off.
Good throw. Still okay.
Is there a path to get in there?
Good throw. Perfect. Wasn't heavy.
Just a little frustration there. I just want to go back to that shot. They did call T-line plus. Like, they called the weight to be there, and it wasn't barely top 4, I would say.
Are they tapping the yellow?
I think that's the only way you scored 2, but can you cross it? Or are they're not playing the red double and try and roll into the pile? Or are they playing the tap?
I think the tap.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Yeah.
Similar spot coming down 2 ends ago. She made a couple of great shots through the hole. Here with Hasselborg in her last. And I guess across, get to nose, if not across the face of it.
Has a lot of curling to do.
Or is there a hole they're looking to get through? No, they're trying to play the tap, and just that little extra weight and a single point only for Sweden. So Canada gets the force, they'll get the hammer back, and a 1-point lead heading to the 9th end.
Yeah, 14-3 on my first. This one was just a little lighter. It was a 14-6. So we just went a little early.
Would have gotten there. Weight was perfect.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Need to probably stay down.
That's okay. Good call to have that chip off.
Yeah. Great one on your first.
Yes, very good.
Well, Canada, Sweden, a 1-point game. It is Canada with the hammer and that 1-point advantage. So they have good position. I'm sure if they came in and you told them you'd be 1 up with playing 9, they would take it to either side in this game. See Sweden try to, can still play for a force. It's not out of the woods that they have to go all out for a steal.
Very true. That's a very good point, and Sweden will take that into consideration as they're, you know, thinking about and calling this game. It all depends on where the rocks end up that Canada has. But Canada in what we call a control position right now, up 1 with that all-important hammer.
Nice, good sweep.
You see Anna out to help, trying to get this one as a long guard. Trying to get it over the hog line. And that'll be the second one this game that we've seen come up short of the hog line. We've seen a few that have been a lot longer than they've liked.
It'll be pretty ballsy of them to go really hard for it if we have a good one in there.
Yeah, you just don't see that very often. 2 hogged rocks.
Same or a little worse than the other side?
First end and a 9th end of all times to hog it. So Canada now with that, they can play a fairly simple, easier strategy here. Just trying to split these rings. Sweden has to make the choice now whether they're going to go hard for the steal. Because if you do, there's always that chance. If you give up a deuce here, you're in a lot of trouble coming home in 10.
Sit.
Giving up 1, as you said, Luke, is okay, but giving up 2 isn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
Not the end of the world, but
starting in the
it's a long hill to climb.
Yeah.
This one would be fast, but I thought that one wouldn't be.
Well, Canada wasn't sure what they would do if it takes some nerves to go and put another centerline guard up, but they know the situation. They know the best way to do it is try and put another centerline guard up.
Känns glidigt. Det känns verkligen där. Det är verkligen där ut.
Det går som den. Ja, den är där. Den är samma typ. Den är samma höjd. Den är lite mer till och
Har en del kval i sig nu.
Ja, den sitter, den försöker nu. Det är bara sitta. Ja.
Well, another center guard, but very close together, those two.
Det är bra, bra koll tjej.
Yeah, not in a very good spot there for Team Sweden.
Det är riktigt varmt spår nu.
Ja, känner. Yeah, I think we have to go this way.
Oh, I still like the other. How much space is there between that?
Do you want to go see it, Shan? Go look at it. Just so you can see what she's thinking.
I'm seeing like intern cross space.
I also saw that.
I don't know how far apart they are.
Yeah, I thought that was the shot too. It would stay as a corner guard, but it's still better than what it is.
So I'm thinking if we hit
I think this
out
turn
turn,
actually stays closer to the middle
that,
her shot.
it'll work here.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, across the face of it. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I just couldn't see anything from that side.
This one's fine.
Yeah. They're a little too tight, it'll just go straight back.
Okay.
So just try and pretty much hit it where Carrie's broom is.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make it, Shan.
Just
Make him fly.
sometimes want to get a different look at the angle so you know how what the execution you're looking for.
Well, it's one thing to just have your skip say where you want to hit it, but I like what Shannon did there, just going down, having a look, get a good visual of what she sees and where she wants to hit it. A lot of people don't do that.
Hard shooter!
Try and spin them both out, get that one off the,
Really good.
Great shot.
and their worry was them running into the ones in the house.
Nice shot.
Yeah, they felt it was so close that if she happened to try the straight double, it would have run back. I mean, there wasn't a drag there because there was a good space in between, but there would have been enough to probably push it relatively straight back. So I think it's just so important that Shannon came down and had a look at that. I think that's such a great call and a good result.
Well, looking to hit, they'll make the roll behind
Nice
the guard.
shot.
Well, look in the only other game going on, Japan leading Denmark 7-3. Japan lying 2, so Denmark, Madeline Dupont has got to play the draw for the single point. Just coming down, they know they could use the backing if they need it, and just touches it, but it stops for a single point for Denmark. So they make it 7-4, 2 ends remaining in that game.
And a great shot on our sheet. Canada played the run back, got rid of the yellow one that was fully buried and rolled, almost removed the redstone that's on the edge of the 12, but managed to jam it and still stick one in the ring over there. Still a guard there though for Team Sweden to get around.
Full 4, nästan bara 10. Nu sitter den.
It sits, but look at where that one comes to.
Ja, ja, ja.
Out the other side of that guard.
Fully overcurled.
We saw that earlier today. The trouble is where to put the broom to make that perfect come around, especially with the halfway guard. If you're anywhere near that guard coming in, you have no chance of being buried.
That's right. That's why you teach them, get by, you know, 10, 12 inches. It'll still bury on this kind of ice. Really, Brianne's working hard here for a piece. Oh, a big piece. Great shot.
Good one, Val. Nice throw. Good weight.
It's not really the way that Sweden wants to try and go about getting a force. Tough to make these hit and rolls perfect.
I don't think quite 10.
I know they made that hit and roll perfect a couple of rocks ago. Great shot by Canada. So now Sarah really wanting another hit and roll. These are so difficult on curling ice.
Oh, look at that.
What a shot.
Yeah,
That's a great shot.
Not surprised seeing the run back be the decision on this one.
Look at that, perfectly buried.
It's like, yeah, I might be able to see it tiny bit. What do you like? Run? Where is that?
It's high.
I think either or. I think the chase is good. Okay. Hack. Yeah. Oh, are we gonna get it out with hack?
No, that's why I kind of like the run.
Do you think we'll get it out the way Shannon's 12? Like.
No.
Yeah, we gotta get it to here, so maybe the run. Okay.
Just because it's so high in the house, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Val, you got it.
This is a good call, Luke. You heard them referring to as hack enough to get a rock out. Typically it is, but they feel like the house is a little bit dead, and so even with hack weight, rocks seem to be hanging around in the ring. So this is a great shot, great call, and super conversation between the team members there.
Great, good one.
That's great. Just rolls that one off to the side. Lies two, still in a position.
Called one, right?
I hated the chase.
Yeah,
I hated
same.
it.
I was like, regardless if we run even a less at the blank still alive,
Yeah.
we missed the chase and there's 3 rocks.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
And this piece, first of all, I didn't really want to dead nut it because I want she just rock.
she wraps? Yeah. Yeah, good point.
Well, need to make another hit and roll. Sweden facing those two. Sure, if they make it again, we'll probably see another run back from the Canadian side.
They thought that red guard was high before. It's another rock higher. So didn't get it this time.
And doesn't even sit shot stone, so it doesn't force Canada to come after and hit it.
We're first?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Probably just like here, not too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely
Make them
no
have to
need
make a
to hit
tough
that
draw.
yellow stone, that second shot.
Just full 8.
Yeah.
This gives Team Canada an
Do you
opportunity to
wanna
get one
bury
in a
this
good
or stay within
position.
here? Bury it? Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I like it.
I think that 14.5 is good. 14.5?
Yeah, going to the wings is a little bit better.
Well, we'll see when this comes down how aggressive, how much risk Sweden is willing to take.
Close.
Mine's good. Top buttons, top 4.
Nice positive release there.
Top 4, top 8. Top 8. Top 8. There it goes. Yeah. Really curling now. Really top 8. Yeah.
Really coming down. Holy crap.
Yeah, hard. Keep going, keep going.
As long as they
Make
get
sure
it in
they're
for
two.
second. Yep. Wow.
Okay.
Like,
With that, where that one stopped, I wouldn't surprise me if Sweden plays this come around now.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. I think it's just once it starts to curl, the weight just comes really off.
and the handle's
Yeah.
just losing too.
Yeah.
Brushers took that one pillar to post, and you can just hear them. Like, it just came off as soon as it passes that hog line in that middle sliding area. You can just see the weight just comes off immediately.
Den är bra. Jag hade 13,8 på den.
Good work by them to get it in for shot.
Saras var ju 13,9. Den hade vi kunnat sopa till 10.
Ja, absolut.
Så
det är
bara
nära
se till
det.
att följa med. Jag tror vi var lite inne på att om vi kommer ner med fart hit så kommer den kunna sticka ut. Alltså i det ljusa, så vi försöker lägga den på 10.
Jag tror att ni kommer gå där ute mycket längre.
Ja, nej, men jag håller
Jag
med.
gillar det.
Så det var tajt i och för sig.
Ja.
Så jag tyckte att din dragning var tajt. Jag funderar på om vi ska ha mindre.
Det är ändå inte jättemycket om det är den nere vi ska gå förbi. Alltså,
Ja, vill du ha samma eller?
så jag är ändå inne på det, ja. Alltså,
Lite mera.
det är ändå den där topp 12 vi ska runda.
14-0.
Ja.
Sop.
So play the come around, try and put this one in behind. Need to get it buried, whether it's top 4, back 4, buried and shot stone.
Topp 4! Topp 4! Bra fart! 10!
Bak 4!
You have to wonder if they get it fully buried too, Luke. Is it good enough simply because that guard is so high?
Waiting for it to come down to finish this one. There, the weight just came right off.
Bra! Bra! Bra lirarna! Bra lirarna, jag gillar verkligen hur lirarna där.
Jättebra spel.
Well, they talked about it earlier, the Canadian side, about moving one back with quiet weight.
That's good enough for me.
What a shot by Anna Hasselberg.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, just stay.
tap it
I'm going
through.
to stay my broom on it.
Is
it edge on edge, or-
Yeah.
Make sure that.
Just hack, guys.
Okay.
You got it. Jag tyckte också det.
I do. Yeah, with hack, I like it. Okay.
You heard the brushers say, let's keep our broom down on this. You know, you don't want to jump it early, but you want to make sure that if you at least keep the
Solid hack.
ice heated. You don't want to allow the dead zone to come alive, so to speak. So as long as it's close, keep your brim down and just go.
Well, big scrub. They got to get
They
past
gotta
that
get
top
high.
12. They won't. Do they chip and stop? It's going to keep spinning and spinning.
Good weight.
And we got a tie game heading to 10. The steal comes out. The come around, good enough. The mistake by Canada.
Weight was good.
They'll have the hammer though.
Yeah.
5-5 heading to 10.
It's a good thing you left with
Good throw.
because it's just getting slow in the middle. Okay, så. Inte hittat någon klapp.
Nej,
Så att
absolut.
så här, jag kan
Ska sätta mycket press.
alltså tvinga en att göra typ en vick eller någonting.
Ja, särskilt på innan.
Ja, exakt.
Absolut. Den känns ju lättare.
Verkligen, ja, jag håller med.
med att den känns lättare.
Ja.
Det gör den.
Men
För den
vi
går mycket
försöker
rakt.
igen.
Ganska bra. Tight, Agnes.
Ja, lite kortare.
Det är helt okej.
Kort hake bara. Gå. Ska vi lägga hög? Vi lägger hög, eller? Jag tycker den bara är 2 meter. Jag vill bara sitta här. Bra, bra så.
Well, 5-5 our feature game, Canada and Sweden. The LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021.
Hallå, ni får sopa va?
Anna Hasselberg, their team obviously have the momentum. 4 points in the last 4 ends, pardon me. And now got it tied.
It should be close. Gonna curl.
Seen the draw weight maybe a little bit, fudging in that slide path a little bit.
Shannon.
Hard, Shannon. Hard.
You can just see the conversations that are going on, and when you're worried that, oh, so close. When you're worried that hack weight won't get a rock out, that's not good.
Surprised that hung in that line for as long as it did.
That was so close.
Brianne.
Weight was perfect.
I thought for sure they were going to make at least some contact on that one, but it goes right by. That first one by Sweden, I think they had intended to call it tight. Realizing it was going to come out short, they left it shorter.
Yeah, you know Sweden wants 2 guards, and so they want to try and keep them as far apart as possible. And if you go in the middle there, it's really hard to do that. So they tried to leave it as high as possible. It's pretty good.
Så får du Fia. Du får gå upp och sopa där. Bra. Alltså jag tycker den där bara känns lite greppigare. Jag tycker att den har gjort den där blåsat.
And this is a little different. They're going to the side of the forefoot, not behind the guards, but just to the side.
I like this call because what we've seen, what's happening in the last couple of ends is you can get one fully buried. Normally you can throw hack weight, easily come around the guards, get a fully buried rock out. That's not been happening, so you want to be very, very careful about burying too soon.
Good weight.
That one curled even more than they thought. It got to the center line.
That's a good spot for that red Canada stone. So it looks like they're just playing a tap here, Luke, just trying to move the red Canada stone back a few feet and maybe roll towards those yellow center guards.
Well, just taps it back, stays in front.
Jävlar. Jaha, jag bara, den är hård. Försökte få fram att den var hård.
The longer those guards stay in play, the better it is as we see the other game, a final now. The Wave, good game, good luck. 9-4, Japan wins. They defeat Denmark. 9-4, the final. Chile were the final game out on the ice.
Oh, it's 10?
Yes! Wait, good! Hard! Hard! Hard!
Big Scrub got to avoid the jam on that back. That leaves that yellow one in play.
Vilken fart!
Baklock, bak 4 för träffen.
Ja, jag kommer lira den lite utåt.
Ja, vad tror du om isen, Agnes?
Jag tror att det där är close. Det är nog bra.
Now, typically you would have seen Canada walk up and try and peel those center guards, but that Yellowstone was in such a good spot that they felt they couldn't leave it there. So they tried to play the hit and roll. Unfortunately, jams it on the back one. So great opportunity here now for Sweden to play the exact same tap that they played on their previous one.
Well, pushes it back. Canada lies one right on the button.
Even if we just peel one, Care. I think we might get lucky if we do it this way. Might get one of them going into the yellow.
Just the one, or do you like the double?
I like the double, but
I like the double peel.
yeah.
Can we try the double, Care? I like it. It looks good from here.
Yeah, it does. Air a little thin. You got it, Shan.
I was very surprised when Carrie went to the one that's sitting in the top 8 and didn't even look at these right away. So glad to see that she's gone, because I think these are the rocks that she needs to get rid of right now. Even if it's just one, but if she can get the double, even better.
Well, close, get both, and just misses that first one, the second one, pardon me. peels that top one off.
Good try, so close. Yeah.
So a few stones in the rings, trying to just keep themselves alive to the late stages of this one.
And that's the way you always want to think. What do you think the opposition's going to do? And if you peel that guard and they're throwing up another guard, you know you made the right call, right? You know that that's what they want to do. They want that rock up there, so that's what they try and do.
Again, another clean peel. This time Val Sweden gets rid of the top. It is 5-5 Canada with the hammer in this 10th end.
His broom had popped off, I believe. Just had a quick repair.
Ja, fast de kan ligga där borta också. Ja, vi måste göra det lite tidigare.
Om vi skulle frysa här och de försöker någonting här. Den här är fortfarande en bra, och hon ska ändå dra locket då.
Jag gillar en gång till dock.
Okej.
Jag tycker också en till och så gör vi någonting med din nästa.
Ja, samma. Ja.
It's hard to say this, but Sweden needs to be patient, and it's hard to say that you only have 3 rocks left. But they talked about, Anna talked about maybe coming in right away and freezing, but I think one more guard might not be a bad idea.
Mittemellan hake.
Linjen är samma.
Nej,
den går rakare.
Den är hake.
Men linjen är
Den
samma.
är precis ovanför gula här.
Linjen är för lina.
Den är
Just want
ovanför,
this one
den är
to dig in.
Jag tror vi...
Yeah, you don't want it too close to that other one.
Lite till och med.
Jag tror bara sitta.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, now it's almost could have swept that a little bit to bounce off it and get a bit of
I
separation.
think both, Kara, is good.
Yeah, I like this.
Big shot here for Val Sweden. Really wants both of these guards gone.
Trying to hold this, make the double peel, and will. So clears the front. Mistake from McManus coming too deep.
Great shot, Val.
That's a huge shot for Val. So a couple options here for Sweden right now. Play the freeze tap. Throw another guard.
Att spela på vår toppsten då?
Jag tänker också den, för då får vi lite höjd med den stenen.
Ja, exakt.
Jag tänker nog fan det.
Vill du spela innan den va?
Ja, jag var annars inne på out om du vill ha mer.
Vi har väl
liksom.
legat där.
Ja.
Agnes sten.
Visst hade vi här på Aggan va?
Ja, jag tror att vi behöver spela med lite mer fart då.
Nu ska vi över linan lite. Vi väntade ju på min.
Samma linje som jag hade på den som hängde.
Och Anna kommer inte heller kvala lika.
Där är nog close.
Eller den kommer nog gå ganska lik min.
Det var ju här hon la alltså i 8:e.
Ja.
Och så bara spela lite lösare än den.
Det är ju väldigt...
Är det här till och med maxarna?
When she stacks them.
Hård eller?
Den är 8:e.
Den är 8:e jag tänkte på.
Ja, den var egen bak 12.
Du behöver spela...
Was this to come right to it and tap it?
Ta lite mindre då.
Jag tror också att jag kan titta lite. Men vi fick ju vänta på min också.
Or to tap that top yellow?
Eller är det fan mycket?
My Swedish is just a little bit rusty today. I think with that ice, I'm thinking that she's tapping yellow onto red, but I'm not 100% sure. She might just be tapping straight to the red and moving it back a couple of feet. It's not a lot of ice though.
They gotta get by that top one. Oh, pardon me, they are playing that
Yeah,
tap.
they were playing that, okay.
Tap, we'll push it back.
So my Swedish was good. I did
have
know.
it. You did have it. Just have to trust it.
That's right. Good shot.
Absolut. Jätteduktig passare. Bra tunnare. Bakåt!
Weight was perfect.
nej, det känns bättre att bara dra.
Okay. Just roll to the side of the 8?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Trying to keep it as a catcher in case they freeze, so you could blast for the win.
Yeah, especially with, you know, not that the other two yellows are really going to come into play, but it would be really nice to have that second redstone in the rings, outcounting those two yellows.
10.
Yep.
Yep.
And Sweden probably has no option but to freeze to that red back 4.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep. Whoa. Little heavy though. Good. Really nice.
Nice, Carrie.
Just rolls off enough
Good
to
shot,
lie
good shot.
1-2.
Thanks.
That is a good shot, good spot.
And if they don't call time on the next.
Hur tänker vi att vi kommer dit? Bara
Yeah, it's a tough spot to get to with the draw too.
Bara bajta locket där då.
Precis, bajta locket.
Jag gillar den.
I don't even think they can freeze now. I think they actually have to come around their own guard.
Bara ta det vida spåret och
Their own
sen
rock.
avsluta.
Gillar du det där?
Har du 55? Så bra med tid.
Känns som ett bra spår. Den där leder ju länge.
Alltså 14-0 på den du knackar. Så att det är 14.
Den jag knackar? Ja.
Den sopar vi en del på. Men
Ja, alltså som det
Så
har
det är
varit här
fint
tycker jag. Du har ju dragit här.
I think they're playing the straight come around.
Samma som
Yeah, just side of the
T-line.
4-foot.
den kommer rinna lite mer än den du drog här.
Snacka när vi kan gå och dra över linan då.
Well, made a great come around in the 9th end to lead to a steal. Needs to do the same in this 10th end.
Det är massa plats.
Keep a close eye, hog line in.
Helt okej linje.
Kommer den, kommer den!
Bra fart.
Gärna vänta!
Heard them say T-line.
I'll get by. Now does it dig in, and look at that.
Wow.
Bra snack tjejer.
14-1.
Grym sten.
Canada's called their timeout. That one was absolutely perfect.
14. I got a 14-3 on that. So yeah, 14-3 is good.
You got it.
Depends on if we're coming to come around that way or just straight button. Yeah, I think.
Look at that one. I mean, and they lifted their brooms, Luke. It was almost, they almost feathered the top guard. It was so close.
Yeah.
What a tremendous shot
Straight
by
button?
Team Sweden.
Okay, you got it.
Just let us know where it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Well, we figured it would come down to last rock. It does. Carrie Anerson has to draw to the button. Could hit this on the right angle with a little extra weight if they need, but try and get this one right to the 4-foot. The Canadian skip with the last of 10.
Close.
73% on 10 draws in the game.
I think you got it. Line's really good. All you.
Top four.
Line's really good.
T-line.
All you.
Go back in.
T. All you. Do you need this?
No, we're okay.
All you.
No.
Well, Colin, they like the
No.
weight.
Okay, we can't hurt it.
Right into the 4-foot, right by. Does it go too far? And did it? It did go too far, so it's a steal again and the victory for Sweden. It goes too far. And what a comeback by Sweden to take that one from Canada. Just too deep, but Anna Hasselborg, what a final 5 ends of this game.
14-2.
6-5, Sweden beats Canada in their opener.
Vad bra, jävligt bra stenar så att det sitter halva. Alltså grymt bra. Vad sa du? Ja, de var härliga. That was one hell of a draw.
Can't say more than that. Coach
Fan, grymt. Bra lyckats vända. Alltså jävligt bra. Starkt.
Så bra, Anna.
So what a game here on day one of the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. Canada gets off to a great start. They had that chance for 3 early, get 2, and have control into the 5th end break. But then what a bounce back in the second half. Those 3 singles in a row by Sweden. Anna Hasselborg really picked up her game. She struggled early, but then came through when she needed to. Great draws in 9 and 10 to make it. But really, that deuce in the 6th end kept them in the game, gave them a chance, and she made 2 fantastic curling shots in order to give themselves an opportunity late in that game. But you look, Canada just 1 point in the second half of this game. And in this one, here's how we got to it. The 6th end, a key moment in the game. Hasselborg made that first draw with her first shot. She's now got to come through it and tap her own because of the port available and how much it curled. She had to play this in turn right through, tap it back in order to score the 2 points and cut into that lead. Knockenhauer, Mabergs stay right through. I actually thought they got the guard live, but it comes through. They tap it back and get 2 points. See that yellow one belonging to Sweden. A great come around by Hasselborg. Forces the pressure on. Wait to come down for Carrie Anderson to try and come down with the in-turn and tap it. Could be for 2, could be for 3 if they move it all the way out. And the game. They liked it early. And then it started to make its move. The weight came off. And Burchard and Mayer can't quite hold it. It crashes on the front. And it's a steal, meaning we would head to the 10th end all tied up. And in 10, that one side of the forefoot.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely perfect draw by Hasselborg. A theme in the second half of this game. And Carrie Anderson has to draw. We're questioning the weight a little bit in the second half. Didn't feel comfortable, especially into that slide path. Mayer, Burchard don't seem to be panicked on it. They liked the weight, thought it was there.
No.
And close. It's coming down now.
You can now.
They get on it, sweep it by Hasselborg in Sweden, and it goes just too far, meaning Sweden gets a second straight steal and the victory in session 2. So what a comeback win there for Sweden. On sheet A, it was Japan beating Denmark 9-4. 6-5 was the final in our feature game. China wins going away 10-3 against Estonia. And 7-point margin on sheet D as well. Switzerland beating Italy. So we're through 2 sessions. Everyone's been out on the ice at least once. Got a good feel for the ice so far. A lot of round robin sessions still to go. But how does it shape up as far as the standings? The top 6 will go to the playoffs of all 14 teams. But some early on in these standings, you see Switzerland 2-0, then China, Czech Republic, Japan, RCF, Scotland, and Sweden all at 1-0. Then Canada, Denmark, Estonia, Germany, Korea, and the US. 1 game played, 1 loss. Italy at the bottom at 0-2 right now through just 2 sessions of round-robin play. And the victory for Anna Hasselborg, she had to be elated with that victory. So, of course, getting that first win is important for Sweden. They pick up the win. It's huge for Sweden, especially a comeback win against Canada. So they get that win. They stay above. Could become huge later on. Let's hear from victorious skip, Anna Hasselborg.
Anna, congratulations on your first win of the championship.
Thank you.
Seemed a little bit tricky out there, some struggles with the ice, especially in the first half of the game. What were you thinking? How were you guys managing that?
First of all, I didn't think that I personally managed it that well, but my girls said to keep my head in and just continue to throw good, and I tried to do that and just try to just hold tight of the game, and I think we did that, and yeah, we ended up a little bit lucky in the end.
You did, but you made some great shots in the last half especially, and you really had the momentum. What do you need to take from this game to go into your next one?
I think like last 5, we handled the ice much better, we communicated better, and we threw it better. So just continue on that, what we're doing in the last 5, and especially the team spirit that was out there. Like I personally didn't get a good feel for the ice, but my girls just kept serving like good houses and good and made me get into the game. So yeah, so we're going to continue communicating in the team spirit.
Awesome, that's what you need, right? Good teamwork.
Exactly.
Congratulations again. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Well, we are off and running 2 sessions in here, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. For Melissa Saligo, myself, Luke Coley, our entire crew, thanks for watching from Calgary.
What was that?
14-2.